Hello everyone, I'm Chaotic. Welcome back to the stream once again. I know that it's been a few weeks. Sorry guys, it's really hard to keep everything on schedule with life and such, but thankfully we did set things up that were constantly going, and as you can tell, some of them have been going a little bit more than we probably need them to. So we filled up about half of our drives that have just been chilling here, which is fine. Still got about half left. All of our automations have been running for a decent period of time now, which is quite nice. It means we should have all the backlogged resources for the other projects we had in mind originally, and all in all, it's not too bad. Because our goal, I believe, was for the quantum computer. That's kind of the last thing that we were majorly working on, and we realized we were going to need a lot of matter balls for it, and a bunch of the quantum infusion stuff, which I actually don't remember the recipe. Yeah, it's just redstone water. So we needed a bunch of the quantum infusion and everything for it, and that was just kind of outside of our crafting capabilities, especially considering I believe we also needed, if we wanted to make one storage, it needed all of the storage components and whatever, which was like spatial components, quantum processors, kind of a general menace all around. So I believe that's what really kind of slowed it down on the initial, and it's why we couldn't quite get it done at the time, but we shouldn't have any issues now because we have a lot of resources. So we have 13 million white wool from our initial setup going on over there with just the 4 simulation chambers. And I guess them running constantly all the time at now it's like what 99.5% chance to get a singularity per run. So they're chilling. I'm actually curious to see if this guy keeps up with them. Yeah, he does indeed. I wasn't sure if this was going to be like stacked up on its predictions or not because of the fact that most of the time they'll get it, but it looks like he's a little bit quicker than the generation time for all 4. Yeah. You could maybe fit 5. You could potentially 5 or 6 loot fabricators or 5 or 6 simulation chambers per loot fabricator. Because, that's a generation of 4. Another one. I think 5 would do it pretty comfortably with no backlogging. Noted. Noted. I think the upgraded loot fabricators as well can do a lot more at a time. I'm not actually 100% sure on how those work, but I do believe that they would work just fine for that. And this system would be pretty easily expandable too, because everything can pretty much just go on passive, because the predictions will only ever go where they need to go. And you just set this guy retrieve to all of your general outputs. So if I wanted to do something that was going to be like a nether prediction or something, I'd put that in there and you just add the additional outputs here. These pipes don't really need a super significant throughput either, considering, it only uses one every, 10 seconds or so? Maybe even longer than that. I don't know. But yeah, so this guy's been making a ridiculous amount of white wool that's just clogging our system, kind of. Probably should have sent that into a drawer or something instead, but it is what it is. Our general goal was the quantum computer efforts, and I think that's about it. I haven't played in a few weeks, obviously, so I will do a quick little once over here and just kind of make sure we're not missing anything significant. Like obviously, all of the hostile neural network stuff is going to be pretty nice. We do have all the modium stuff that we can work towards as well. I do think we'll have to find a deep dark to actually get the all the modium as per normal, and then we could use that to do a mining dimension. Although I'm not sure if these mining dimensions, these mining portals, would give us the ability to get the all the modium and such there, or if we have to find it default. I'm actually not sure if it's in the quest line anywhere. No, really just its avariccio tabs and stuff. This is all the basic stuff, which we've already pretty much done other than these. This is the end, the Lost Cities, the Twilight Forest, and the Nether. These will just generate specific ores to their dimensions. If we go over here, I thought these weren't full for a second. I was like, how in the world would these, oh. Bad keybinds, bad keybinds. No, he should definitely be, we'll turn off my magnet real fast. Yep. So we filled up 3 mana pools worth of stuff, so we can definitely prep some Botania things there with that. This guy's just been going. I assume our coal supplies have still been able to stack up. Yeah. Still 35,000 blocks of coal, even though it's just been despawning effectively a block every 5 minutes. But thankfully we get it much quicker than that. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Because I believe it was Botania that blocked us mostly from getting into more of the mystical agriculture stuff. Yeah. These were runic altar recipes. They're only 5,000 mana a piece, which means, you know, that like that one's fine. Are these more expensive? Oh, combination crafting for the next tier up. Also, lots more base resources needed. Star metal dust. Okay. Okay. Zer silver ore looked like an end ore. Zer electrum. Silver, gold. Okay. Then nether star shards. Okay, so yeah, the higher tier stuff is definitely decently expensive. This guy's elite crafting. Oh, and requires seeds of the previous tiers too. Hmm, interesting. Okay, well keep that in mind. So the mystical agriculture seeds are kind of expensive. I'm curious on what our best farming method for these guys is still. I would assume like, you know, growth accelerators or something probably still do a really good job with these guys. But I think the easiest method would definitely be the Bonnie pots. It's because the creatives weren't. I guess the creatives needed the Infinity one. That's what it was. Creatives were expensive. The ultras were fine. You just need nether stars on automation. But if you have nether stars in, then you know this is grows at 36 times faster effectively with a 6 multiplier and 6 speed, which isn't terrible. And I think they all give a chance to provide their seed as well. Yeah, so you can get the additional seeds from them this way as well. Yeah, that's not too bad. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Hostile neural networks is really just a matter of getting the model and killing the mob enough times to set the default model, which isn't too terrible. I'm assuming we need all of these for this ultimate prediction. I assume that's what's happening here. Oh yeah, they're into smaller individual recipes with neutronium and stuff. Yeah, so pretty late game components there, and they've got all of these guys too, which I've not messed with extra hostile neural networks, so I'll probably have to look up that mod and see exactly how that guy operates. You've got Woot as a possibility too. Outside of like literally needing this for something, I don't know why we'd really use Woot. I feel like it's kind of just a worse system in comparison. Yeah, because it's it's manual killing of stuff or whatever, which is nice. But I think hostile neural networks probably covers everything you'd potentially want from that. There's a Chaos Guardian prediction. Oh, which you need to use an Infinity Crucible if you want to actually get Chaos Fragments from it. Fair enough. And you can make big Chaos Shards as well with the Infinity Crucible too later. Very interesting. Lots of in-depth crafting up there at the high end. Just tag through everything else real fast. Just storage systems and stuff. Nothing crazy there. Powa, which is really going to be mostly useless. We're probably just going to have to get the energizing rods up, and that's the only thing I actually care about from Powa. Because nothing else about it's really specialized in any way. It's all just actual power generation. But I think they're just objectively worse. Like the best the best solar panel tier, the Nitro tier, generates 2,000 RF a tick, but it's also really expensive. So I don't think we'll be doing that. Nuclear energy. This guy's almost for sure going to be required. Less so for power generation and more so for results, I bet. Which is kind of a menace. We will have to end up seeing if these guys are needed. I don't know. Maybe we get to avoid this mostly, and we can just kind of use one chunk to go through the fuels and such as needed to just finish the quest more so than actual requirements. Although, oh gosh, I see they have Neoteric in here. It's got the full target chamber and everything. And you don't even need that for anything. Not that very last one, at least. Producing a black hole. Okay, alright, we're gonna stop looking at the nuclear energy tab because that's got some stuff there that I don't really want to look at right now. Stream reactors, could be a decent power source. It really depends on what their modifiers are, because there's plenty of configs for this to increase their power output significantly. Turbines could be crazy, they could not be. I think solar panels will probably just be our method. This is for package, so this is all of your advanced auto crafting capability, which isn't too difficult. I did like the fact that they had the fusion injectors as well for the package. I thought that was pretty cool. So, might be able to do that to subvert some of the other interesting automations you normally have to do. Got our typical Botania progression line. We're going to need to get all the basic runes together to make our agglomeration plate, make some Terra Steel. It's going to be a pretty hefty amount of mana for the Terra Steel and everything. Set up our portal Alfheim after we do that. And it looks like it's fairly normal Botania progression otherwise. Like, yeah, 2.0 is just, Gaia Spirited get as per usual. Fight the Gaia Guardian. Oh, I guess it was Alf Steel ingots for the Guardian of Gaia initial fight, which was interesting. So, slightly different, but not anything significant there. Although that is 1.5 mana pools, so kind of got to keep that one in mind too. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything crazy. And we can also make some of the more advanced flowers for mana generation, because I know that there's some that are pretty decent. There's like ones that eat nether stars and stuff. I can't remember what their name is off the top of my head, and those guys are very, very effective. This is all the extra Botania stuff, which we'll probably mess with. I think it'll be much nicer to automate things. I think all of these are automationable. I don't know why I said automationable. Automatable properly machines, so you can link them into your system and such without having to deal with some of the typical jank of trying to automate Botania by like dropping things on it with a timer on it and such. Blood magic also didn't look any different. You gotta go to the other dimension or whatever, the Forbidden Realm and stuff, to get the Tau Fruit and things and set up all your Ritual Diviners. But all the way up to, max rank blood magic looks pretty typical. Nothing crazy there. Crazy AAE 2. We're just gonna ignore that. We looked at that guy. He's got some pretty advanced stuff. That's pretty late game though. Project E is of course very out of the picture for now. Cause yeah, this is pretty expensive. It needs the ultimate singularity. This is interesting. A multi-compressor as opposed to. Oh, okay. The multi-compressor also does it with like a quarter of the items. For those hyper-dense ones. That makes sense. Yeah, quite a few items needed here. So this is kind of out of our picture for now. Not to mention looking at the transmutation table after, also extremely expensive. Needs Infinity 7 and stuff. So Project D is quite out of the way. We do have the Philosopher's Stone section here, which is nice. It'll show you all of your recipe stuff, what you have, what you've like taken out and things, which is convenient. The Void Miners, which we looked at, and the only thing they're going to be really useful for is going to be the specific crystals, because like the actual Void Miner itself generates nothing really of value to us, at least as far as I could tell. It generates like the silent gems stuff, but I don't think we really need any of that. Or at least not any significant amount of it. And yeah, it's like they're missing most of the stuff, unfortunately. They're not super great for all of the resources, but we will need all of their crystals at some point. Like amethystine or whatever, and things like that for the ultimate gem, stuff like that. So we'll need to go through these at some point. Right now, not really a priority, just because I don't think they're gonna give us much that we actually need. A Nequata reactor, I'll deal with that eventually. That was also something. Just a little furnaces tab. Use the Aldemodium line. Kill a wither. Wait, is there a way to craft it? Is that what I was seeing there? Flux infused dust, flux infused ingot, refined glowstone ingot, energetic alloy, and a nitro crystal. What am I missing here? Okay, I see. So we can just craft it outright. I wonder if you can still find it then. I wonder if the ore still generates. Like if it generates in a deep dark in one of the other dimensions, like the hunting dimension or the lost cities. Hmm, that's a good question. Well, I guess if it doesn't generate, then that's how you acquire it. So you do have to go all the way through Power then to get the Aldemodium. Vibranium, buckets of life, so some blood magic, fiery metal, um, which ain't too bad. Pretty sure you can get the fiery tears from the loot fab. Yeah, you can do Ergas predictions for the loot fabricator to get the fiery tears, and then just combine those with iron. You could also make the seed, but I feel like that's gonna be, yeah, a little bit of a menace. So either one of those works. I guess your main thing is finding what 6 Ergas to get your extra stuff. Maybe one of those blocks from extra hostile neural networks lets you do it without having a full like set of 6 kills. I wonder if one of them will help you like upgrade a faulty one to a full one. If so, that makes it much easier. Probably right. I think there's like one that's like a what was it called? Yeah, simulator modeling. That's a lot of netherite. It's for the loop fabrication plant, so it's just part of the multi-block. But I think this guy can be placed on his own. So yeah, so you make these basic upgrades, a bunch of netherite diamond blocks, a merger, 2 merger cameras, oh, which also take infinity. Infinity one. Okay, yeah, so that's a little ways out. Probably just hunt 6 Ergas then. I suppose. This is your extended crafting tab. Shows you all of the different ingots, I guess, that are needed for the singularities. Oh, okay. Ingots need all of the ingots and alloys and stuff needed for the ultimate ingot. All the singularities needed for the ultimate singularity. Makes sense. Good old industrial foregoing. I'd assume it generates in an extremely similar way. So extract your latex processing unit, get yourself dry rubber, smelt the rubber into plastic. Definitely just make a plastic seed, 100%. Because that also lets you make plastic sheets from Pneumaticraft too. Yeah. What's his growth time? You put him on like a tertium seed. Yeah, so it's like minute and 39 seconds. Yeah, definitely just make a plastic seed and throw him through. And then that pretty much handles all of your annoyance here. I guess you'd still need to get your pink slime from a mob slaughter factory. Unless there's some other roundabout way to get it. No. I'm actually surprised that there's no if there's the pink slime balls. Can you not convert these back down in this one in any way? Okay, I would assume not. Yeah, nothing crazy here. Oh, there's also soul surging. You drain one of the wardens for souls with the soul pipe stuff, and it's block acceleration. That was pretty good. This guy with hydroponic beds was pretty nuts. Unfortunately, the hydroponic bed recipe uh has been slightly obliterated, I fear. Yeah. Although you could probably just soul search a botany pot too, I bet. They don't even take power either. So take acceleration on one of the upgraded botany pots, like the ultimate or something, for 6 times speed, 6 times drops. Then soul search as well. That probably goes pretty well. So that's a pretty easy generation method, I think. Okay. Violet Forest has typical progression. We'll probably just knock that all out in a row at some point. Actually, I guess the real thing is make sure you bring in data models for every one of them. Yeah, definitely. Bring in enough data models to get all of them done. So that each one you go and find just 6 of each, except for this guy. Probably ignore him. I don't know actually. I guess I could change the loot fabricator that I have for wool to get a half stack of every wool type, every wool color, and then that wouldn't be too bad. Fingers construct. I don't actually think we need anything from this guy. I could be wrong, but we'll have to check on this. I feel like this is going to be redundant. This just loses out to all of the other armor and tool systems now. Especially considering like there's Aldemodium. I just make an Aldemodium pickaxe and it's unbreakable already and exceptionally good. So why would I go through the pain of messing with these things whenever I just don't need to? Enter IO. Probably gonna need their capacitors for things like ultimate capacitor. It's actually just a really good capacitor. Okay, fast capacitors, which it's made out of, are only used to make the ultimates. Okay, so these might just be to super boost your machines. Yeah, so they're just used for the initial purpose of the capacitors. Fair enough. Nothing here too crazy. There are item conduits, which might be a fun method of item transport and such. Curious if they're laggy or if they're not in this. These are what? Boss trophies and stuff for killing bigger guys. Good to know that these guys can all drop them. Epic challenges. These ones are literally just a matter of doing like random miscellaneous things. So what? Open a furnace 5 times, block a bunch of damage, breed a bunch of animals, catch a bunch of fish. Place things with a builder's wand. I've apparently placed 12,556 blocks. Hey, fair enough. Enchant a bunch of items. Oh, I remember the enchanting. Apotheosis enchanting, and we have that one table that we can choose the enchants for. Pretty nice. Um, 50,000 nether stars. Fair enough. So you can just submit a bunch of things. Good old million diamonds. No, it says a million diamonds, but it actually wants 5 mil. Get the ascended coins or whatever. What was in the shop again? Was there anything like really cool in here? I know there's creative flight, but you needed the emerald back or the emerald jetpack anyways, which needs Infinity one. We're currently chilling with the diamond one, and the Infinity one is obviously slightly expensive, needing the Awakened Supremium and get Draconic cores, things like that. Kind of like pinnacle of multiple mods worth of stuff. Armor plus crystals, some basics of the an ascended coin for 4 Signalum. Is Signalum a heavily changed recipe or something? No. No, it's not. Why? Why in the world? All right. Their shop prices are potentially terribly off here. 4 ingots of that is crazy, considering it's 64 normal coins only for like a stack of ender ingots. That's that's a slightly expensive thing there. One nitro crystal for 8x infused. Very interesting here. Got the loot crates, which were pretty cool. I think we saw some things that we were actually looking at in the recipes through the loot crate stuff as well. I remember the Britannia Legendary loot crate whenever we looked was terrible. Yeah, so nothing crazy in the shop other than like these guys. All of these ones, specifically this guy, would probably be quite worth getting constant saturation, because the negative of the ability totem stuff is that it takes XP to activate, and it uses up your hunger faster based on how many you have and what levels they're at. But like, you can also get resistance totems. I wonder how many you can get. I guess you get one, and you should be able to see what level you're capped at for these. But like 16 ascended coins, you get resistance 1. Resistance 1 is a 20% cut to all damage you take. If you get up to resistance 2 or 3, 40 or 60% damage reduction, it's you're doing pretty good at that point. Bone Wheeler. Just naturally bone wheels everything around you. Fair enough. Max health. Extra armor. Speed, haste, the usuals. Creative flight. Okay, well, the shop may be useful. We might try to get saturation, actually. I guess we can actually claim all of our quest rewards real fast. Add our coins into the system real quick. What does our coin situation look like? These guys all craft down to 9. That's 26 infused. What do we need for this guy? 64. Okay, so we're a bit less than halfway through there. We'll keep that in mind. And with that, I think we're good to actually get started here. Just a quick little run. I say quick. I was almost 30 minutes of just running through all the systems, getting a little refresher. I know that I haven't been super consistent on the streams and stuff, and I'd say this literally every single time this happens. I'm trying so hard. It's just life gets in the way, which is a bit of a menace, unfortunately. Sorry, was just adjusting some stuff on the side there. Okay, so AE2. What we really wanted, it's not even in this tab. We want the quantum computer setup. Let us just kind of give it a brief little look. So we're gonna need ourselves a quantum computer core. What's he missing? A bunch of ender pearls, quantum infused dust, computer accelerator. So let us press A on all three of these things just to keep them in mind. Let's do this accelerator in. This guy we don't know the recipe for. Set the recipe for an accelerator. He's just a crafting recipe. Shattered singularity is going to be in the reaction chamber. We'll do it with this one. Yep, that's good. It's a reaction chamber recipe. This one's crafting. And we should already, yeah, we already know how to make everything else that's in there. That's already all encoded. What else does this guy need? These quantum processors, which we do not have. Wait, highlighted elements are already craftable. They shouldn't be. Oh wait, they are. Okay. Alright, never mind, hold on. We will get rid of this then. Maybe we were just missing this pattern for this guy. Throw him in there. Okay. Pop back open to the quantum computer core. Okay, quantum infused dust. We can use a crusher recipe on shattered singularities. Okay, well that's pretty easy. So, press usage on this guy, set him in the crusher. 64x, 64x, just to guarantee the encoder. Pop this guy open, go on over to 2 terminals over, and we can type in for our crusher. And there we go. Give him a 64x recipe. That's our quantum infused dust. Set in. Our quantum computer accelerator is now known as well. So now if we want to make a quantum computer core, yeah, we're just missing a bit more ender pearls now. 464 are missing. Okay, well, that means we're going to need a lot of ender pearls. Ender pearls we can get from a loot fabricator, with either the Lich or the Enderman. Let's press A on both of these, and I figure we'll just use hostile neural networks because I think this will be an easy way to kind of just guarantee our backlogged production without having to set up full mob farms. Although I do want something with experience at some point. Smelting chamber. Experience droplets, obviously, from mystical agriculture, but that's a tier 4 seed, so he's kind of a menace. Those you can craft experience with, those are expensive. Experience shards from Super Factory Manager, you break them down. Experience confection would be with the pylon stuff. Oh, we have last stand. Okay, noted. Also, it's that enchant point system where I think everything caps at 20. I think that was the highest that we saw, was 20 points like per piece of armor or whatever. Yeah, you could get experience boost as well. Ooh, last stand goes high. Last stand 6. Noted. Alright, sorry. Besides the point, not what I was looking for. I was just trying to see if there's anything directly that was going to be experience related that I could maybe see as a drop. Woo can give experience, because I don't really want a typical mob farm for more than needed. Like, I'll do one for pink slime and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like they're kind of lame. I'd kind of like to circumvent needing that. Especially because I think it's going to be really annoying to manage because of the fact that there's those specialty mobs in this. I don't know how many of them are going to have stupid immunities and such that are just going to tank, so could be gross, could be annoying, but whatever. We need ender pearls. So Lich Prediction takes 1,000 RF a tick to run and can give us 24 ender pearls. Enderman Prediction takes 512 and will give us 16 ender pearls. Can also give us end crystals. What about the Lich Prediction? Can give you bones. Okay, yeah. So really just ender pearls is the only effective thing here. So I think Enderman Prediction will be easier. So if we want an Enderman Prediction, what we should first do is craft another set of 4 model frameworks. You can hear our crusher operating in the background very quickly. Our energized smelter as well. Okay. 4 more frameworks, and let's see. Do we have anything for this? There should be an Enderman portal. It's gateway. Enderman gateway. Well, seems pretty simple. Just make this little guy real quick. And he is going to spawn in a bunch of Endermen that are aggro. We got this little guy that we made. We won't be using the mob masher on this because I don't really need to. But let's just spawn these guys in. This first wave will start. Let's grab all of this down. So all of these models, right click each Enderman one time, put them inside of the learner, and we should just be able to execute them now. They'll do a ton of damage, but we're too high above them, so they can't actually hit us. Turn our magnet back on, because might as well get the ender pearls and such that we need here. And we might as well try to get as much as we can from this guy. So if we're currently at basic, if we get 12 more, we'll kick it up to, I think it's advanced, is the next named tier or whatever for these guys. So we'll just keep chunking them all real quick. Little slaughter fest here. Come here, man. And since we're not too far away from them, none of them are despawning or teleporting is what I meant to say. Really, they're all kind of just chill with sitting here. And we're also going to get a decent amount of ender pearls outright just from doing this, which is nice. A little slow. If we had a stronger weapon, but it's fine enough. I just want to get the Enderman done right now so we can get that started, and we'll go and work on something else over working on the quantum computer, since this is obviously going to be a slight limiter. I assume everything else is only going to require even more ender pearls in significant quantities. Because all we're trying to make right now with the like almost 500 ender pearls is just the quantum computer like core, and we're still gonna need all of their structure blocks, a bunch of the accelerator blocks, probably get a multi-threader, just might as well. Might make the data entangler as well, which I think quadruples the storage, just so we end up with like 1 billion bytes of storage in total for our crafting. I doubt we'll need that much, but you might as well. It only costs you one block of coprocessors to get that done. And that guy will pretty much cement our full combination of auto crafting systems, which is going to be very nice. So, yeah, we got 132 ender pearls there, which ain't too bad. And we're also exactly up to the advanced tier model. So what are these guys at? 22% accuracy. That's not terrible. So pretty much every generation they'll make enough for one new set. I do believe the loot fabricator needed, I guess actually this is why we did 4, by the way, instead of 5 or anything, was because 4 perfectly fits in one deep learner. So maybe we'll just stay with 4 as our general routine system here. Okay. These guys are going to add, what, 2,000 RF a tick or so to it, 512 each. Just making sure that our system here is going to be fine. How much does each sheep take? Only 64. This guy has a total capacity of 100,000 a tick, so yeah, he can manage these just fine to continue on our pipelines. I also did look at some stuff for the pipes and did realize that there are ways to make them look nicer. You can like do like force joint and stuff and make it much nicer as a system as a whole. So I guess let's get ourselves a loot fabricator. This guy is going to take one of our other netherite ingots. I don't think we have many. I think we only have 7 after using that one up. But loot fabricator for simulation chambers. Thankfully the resources for these things are pretty cheap. And let's grab some pipes of each kind. There we go. So 4 more simulation chambers, another loot fab. And how do we have this guy set up specifically? A passive to extract and having him specifically retrieve the sheep predictions. Okay. That should be pretty easy then. So if you actually do force joint, then you can have it set to flat like that. And I saw someone talking about this and I was like, oh dang, that's gonna be. This is how you make it look much cleaner. Like that looks way better than this. I don't know if I'll redo this right now because this whole system's gonna get redone at some point. But for now, that's pretty cool. I can just do everything else from further on to a pretty decent point here. Yeah, so force joint, that is your method to make your system look good. Or at least decently better. Made him a little sloppy sided there. That's fine. Okay, so on this one we did one passive so it could take out for the normal system and one retrieval for the prediction. So we can set this guy to retrieval Enderman prediction. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Enderman prediction, there we go. Leave this guy on passive. Leave these guys on passive as well. Let us get our Enderman modules out of here, and before we do that, we're going to set Ender Pearls in here as a retrieval item, and we will also set End Prediction. Because we're going to get generalized Ender Predictions from just every cycle of the Enderman going through, and they'll end up in here, so we want to take those out as well, otherwise they'll overstack. Now we put all these guys in. They'll get their prediction matrices instantly, and they're going to need power. That's a necessary component. Force joint. I'll just do it on the far sides. I could be more meticulous about this to like make these look more consistent, but I'm not that worried about it, and I ran out of pipes. Make another like 40 of these guys real quick. It's actually take a second to craft. That was surprising. We're showing him. Okay, now they all have power. Our Enderman predictions are running. This guy's sheep predictions. This guy's an Enderman prediction. Ooh. This is interesting. Okay, so our initial system here. Okay, so what we can do instead, set these guys to extract, because I don't think they'll take out the prediction itself. Why does that still go? This is a retrieval. This is an extract. Oh, maybe we need NBT. Is the other one getting a bunch of sheep predictions in it? It's taking all the sheep predictions. Let's turn NBT on this. Maybe that's what's happening here. So he's at sheep. Okay, and he's doing Enderman. Alright, we'll set the Enderman 1 to Ender Pearls. See if it takes the Ender Pearls out. It does. Yo, how are you doing? What's up, Andrea? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Our sheep predictions are now operating properly. Enderman predictions are working. Okay, so we have to set NBT. I forget because these guys have the only difference between them and the other predictions is their NBT data. So on your retrieval, set the NBT. That's how these seem to operate. And it looks like these are working fine again. Perfect. Cool. That leaves our system pretty consistent. You're fine. Thanks for asking. Nice, nice. I guess we'll throw in all of our sheet predictions, and hopefully these will slowly dwindle that down. So this doesn't have such a backlog. These guys are working great for the Enderman ones. These guys are all about 23%, so every cycle roughly will get, on average, one total guy. These are also getting their predictions taken out properly of both kinds. And that means that the system's working over here too. Very nice, very nice. And this isn't even a really high throughput system either. Like, the total quantity of items coming through this isn't any significant amount, so should be working fine. It is definitely slowly but surely getting through the sheep predictions. So it'll catch back up, thankfully. And we're already gaining a pretty decent amount of ender pearls here. Yeah, we're up another 100 already. And these guys are only going to get more efficient on every generation model, which is nice. Okay, so that sets up our ender pearls. And that's going to be pretty needed for everything else in the quantum. I guess what we can do is, like, the quantum computer structure. Okay, interesting. I didn't actually encode that. Yeah, it's like the structural glass. And then I think this is the whole outside. Yeah, the absolute whole thing is the structural glass. So let's encode that real fast. Oh, he's not even bad. We already know everything else for him too. Sweet. Pop open our terminal, throw him into the assembler matrix. So we need I think it was 218. Okay, that ain't bad. That's actually pretty cheap. So we'll craft those outright. Only stream this game or other games too? I used to stream other games and stuff too. I just can't stream consistently enough, so streaming, just Minecraft and stuff keeps it a little bit more consistent for me. Like I haven't streamed in a few weeks already, and I was already planning on streaming more often and stuff. It's just kind of a menace, so I have not been able to stick to a schedule. Real life just gets in the way, and my schedule gets flipped around because of work and everything too. So it's a little bit of a pain. But yeah. So then we need a bunch of the quantum accelerators. Let's see how many. So if you have the core, because there's 125 blocks internal, because it's 7 by 7. It's the same as the assembler matrix. So you can have your core itself, or well, you need your core. You can have the multi-threader block, which will quadruple your things, and then I could make the data entangler. So this would require 122 accelerators. Would be my other leftover blocks. That's gonna take a couple ender pearls. That's kind of what I just wanted to see was a rundown on our general cost there. Okay. So we're gonna need like 4,500 or so ender pearls, give or take, to get it done, because we still need to get the actual core done too, the multi-threader and the data entangler. But that's about it. Why haven't you updated your channel? I don't know. There's not been any particular large reason to update the Twitch. I do a very niche section of work. Where did I get solidified XP from? Um, I'm very confused actually on where I got this from. Solidified XP. Actually, subtractions. Okay, it can drop as an actual mob drop. Alright, I was just making sure. I was like control clicking, shift clicking. I'm like, I don't even think I'm opt on my server. I was just making sure I didn't get any, uh, like accidentally cheat something in or something stupid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have any operator privileges intentionally, so I can't accidentally misclick something out of JI and things like that. Okay, sorry. Small distraction. You just get it from killing mobs. So it's whenever I killed all the Endermen and stuff, and I just didn't notice until just now. But yeah, so we're gonna need a bunch of Ender Pearls for that setup. And it's working, like our system's gonna generate Ender Pearls pretty quickly, because it generates them in sets of 16 there. So once it gets up to self-aware, every generation cycle will generate 64 Ender Pearls, and that's gonna be pretty fast. So we can work on something else while that's happening. Preferably something that doesn't require a large amount of Ender Pearls. And what system do we want that to be? What can we use these for? Okay, you can craft really expensive Ender Pearls. You can craft some Endstone. Ooh, nice. Okay. I looked for blood related ones. I didn't even consider that it would be renamed. So there's Sanguine. Shift right click on the blood altar, shift right click on the virtual sacrificer. In the virtual sacrificers, I'm assuming -1 is pretty consistent here. On like that's infinite or whatever. Okay, so we have. Sorry, this has distracted me. I just wanted to double check on this because this was very interesting to me. Because what this does is this allows you to automate blood production without ever having any like actual mobs up and such. These these do not scale on an RF level that makes sense for the actual amount. That is what, 1.5 million RF attack? I assume it's just based off of what the actual data model itself takes, regardless of how much it's actually producing blood-wise. Or maybe it's so that you can do less of them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so the virtual sacrificer. So yeah, I'll probably just run this on one of the cheaper mobs. I don't know. Not sure which mob is the most efficient here to run for this. But anyways, you can get a decent amount of blood, just passive automation here this way. And if you feed it any of the prediction stuff, it gives a multiplier. Same way that the old one used to work. I just don't remember what the old mod was called. But that is good to know that it is still around. So our ender predictions we're making give a 2.25 multiplier for 50 iterations. So that's pretty strong considering we get one of these guaranteed every iteration for just those 4 Endermen would last for a ridiculous amount of time already. Like actually let's yeah, we're at 174 already. Okay, well, noted. That's going to make blood magic pretty easy in comparison. So it looks like you just got to get up to a couple imbued slates. Yeah, blank slate, couple imbued slates, and you can hook this guy up already. Make an alchemy table. It does need a tier 3 orb. So I think your lowest here is Magician's Blood Orb, I think is the lowest one. Yeah. So you get up to a tier 3 altar, tier 3 orb, make the Magician's Blood Orb, do some binding reagent, you can make your virtual sacrificer. That's pretty easy, and also I think around the same point that you get access to setting up killing rituals anyways, like the Well of Suffering and things, so that adds up. Well noted, that'll make blood magic easier. We should actually probably press A on that guy, just so I don't forget him. We can take out the predictions and the ender pearls there, we'll leave A on him. Blood magic could be a focus. Let's double check everything else and see if anything else strikes my fancy here. This guy's gonna need Dragon's Breath, right? Yeah. So that's gonna need an Ender Dragon prediction. That'd really be our best way to get this consistently. I do like that you can do the left Dragon Heart and right Dragon Heart individually. How expensive is this guy to run? 4,000 architect, so he's about a full solar panel to himself currently, but I guess the whole intention of him would be we can then make the next tier of solar panel off of these guys. Generate 4 times as much. What's this take? Emerald glass. We've already got those. Yeah, so that's not even bad. Sorry. Detour slightly into the armor plus. Do any of these sets have anything good about them? Like that actually like matter? I guess more so. The ultimate material. Like what's Slayer armor? Flight. Soul Stealer enchanted weapons and killing the 3 bosses to get Soul Slayers. Infuse Lava Crystal, base Slayer helmet, which takes base of the other 3 helmets. That doesn't look too bad. Superstar helmet. Interesting. Well, that's an alternative method of flight, potentially. If I feel like going through all the armor plus stuff for that, killing all the side mobs and things. That's good to know. I'm actually curious, what's the battle axe do? 19 attack damage, and applies a bunch of negatives on hit. Although, unfortunately, I feel like this just kind of loses to, I don't know, like, an Aldemodium sword. Oh no, actually, it only does 16. Okay, fair enough. No, thank you. I don't want any kind of art or channel updating stuff. I think I'm good. Appreciate the offer though. The next solar panel after this takes dragon eggs as well. Okay. So yeah, pretty much Ender Dragon predictions with, you know, couple going to eggs and a couple going to fabricators for. That one actually might be kind of annoying in hindsight. Trying to split where the predictions go with their current setup. Because you can't have the loot fabricator cycle through things, unfortunately. Although that would be really cool if I could tell it predict one prediction make this, second prediction make this, third prediction make this, and then it just loops that. That'd be cool. Unfortunately, not how that works. I think each prediction chamber is set to just one guy only. That's just how they operate. Yeah, so just dragon eggs and ender pearls and such. Things that we already have, the emerald glass and things. Very, very manageable. Any block of quartz. That gets you to the 32,000 to take solar panels. And then it gets expensive. Because then now you're on 2 wyverns, so you need draconium in decent amounts. Although actually not crazy amounts. And you'll need 1 nether star per craft as well. But yeah, and then that gives you wyverns, and these guys generate 65k each a tick, although you can double those, so that's going to actually be like 131,000. So this one craft alone is already like a $250,000 RF a tick, just to craft up these 2 guys. And then it gets to the genuinely expensive tier, which is the Awakened Draconium and things. Okay, well, to Wyvern tier, it's pretty much just a limiter of Dragon Eggs and Dragon's Breath. That is noted. Well, that's going to be pretty good, I think. How much do these do? I wish they told you. Because, like, these are extra solar panel tiers for Mechanism, but these are definitely much more annoying to make. Yeah, you've got to push through all your HDP and everything. Not too bad once you set it up, but just kind of an annoying base setup. And they upgrade from one of the earlier ones for each tier. Can I know any reason? I just don't want it. Sorry, I'm just not interested in paying for like artwork and updates and stuff. I think we're good. Yeah, these are pretty expensive. I'm curious on how good these are. I'd have to do these in a single player world and then check and see how good they actually are before I could dedicate to crafting them all the way up otherwise. Yeah, Photonic's the highest you can actually like get to outside of creative, which would be infinite. No thank you. I'm not interested. Okay. What's our interval status? Or we were just observing that. Yeah, we're already up to 1200, so we're doing pretty good. We can make the controller and stuff already, but we already know we need about 4,500 or so, something like that. What to work on? What to work on? I guess we could do a little bit of our Botania stuff here. So Rune of the Earth, actually, it might just be easier to click on the agglomeration plate itself. There we go. And we'll set him too. Okay, Rune of Earth. We're gonna need what? Mana powder, mana steel, stone, blocks of coal, and any kind of mushroom. Pretty sure we have some mushrooms over here. Think we got some from Seaving? Ooh, we did not. Can we get any from anything else that's pretty simple here? I know mycelium can grow mushrooms on it occasionally. Actually, if we grab some mycelium spores, put some water in that guy, we might actually be able to instigate the growth of a mushroom. Because I know that converting to witch water was like how this used to operate, where it increased the chance of mushrooms growing nearby. Although they might be too bright. Oh, we got a mushroom. Oh, we got 2 mushrooms. Okay, well that worked literally exactly as planned. Always love to see that one happening. And then, I wonder if it'll let us grow one here. It will. You know what I didn't consider? Is that people use mushroom generation all the time to like intentionally break things. Okay, thankfully it doesn't seem to have broken anything. Do we have any axes? Yeah, we've got a stone axe in here. Sweet. Kicks us up to 20 mushrooms, and that's plenty. Let's keep one on us for our set of runes of the earth here. Okay, mana powder will just be any kind of powder, so we can just do like redstone dust. Mana steel. We do have a mana steel. We'll convert a block down to, because I think we'll need a mana steel ingot for each one, just about. Block of coal and stone. Craft 100 stone real fast. Okay. Do that. We'll throw that guy there, knowing that he needs to be changed. Yeah, the Rune of Mana, taking just the Mana Steel and Mana Pearls. Rune of Water. Okay, nothing here is too crazy. What's our living rock supply looking like? Okay, not enough. Well, good thing we made some extra stone here, and we will go and set some up at these pure daisies real quick. Walk away from that, or turn my magnet back off so it stops spamming me. Turn off our jetpack. Okay, drop this guy in here. Drop a few guys in there. We won't drop all of it for now. And you can't just drop on this guy, right? You can, nice, okay. Perfect. Now if we grab our wand and a living rock, wand it. There we go. 2 runes of the earth, can take those guys off. Rune of fire, netherwort, netherbrick, gunpowder. Nice, we have a few of those. And some nether bricks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Perfect, runes of fire. Rune of air is going to need any kind of carpet, a feather, and a string. We thankfully do have a couple of feathers. A little bit of string. And just a small amount of wool for carpets. 13.7 million. Nice. Put these guys all in. Put them on top. Pop it. Perfect. Rune of air. Rune of mana. It's going to need a mana pearl. We actually made a stack of these already, so we're good. Mana pearl. And it was 5 mana steel ingots. Living rock. And then our rune of water. Bone meal, sugarcane, fishing rod. Get our fishing rod, our bone meal. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And that's our rune of water done. That's everything needed to make the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Line up all of this and set up a full new set of living rock here, because we will undoubtedly need more. Cool. Not too bad. Let's craft up a few blocks of lapis here. I should have just shift clicked to stack. There we go. Make our terrestrial agglomeration plate. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we do have some sparks. We can throw a spark on each of these three guys. The issue being you can't, until you get the Alpine portal, actually give any augments to the sparks, but they will automatically feed within like 15 blocks any agglomeration plate that's requesting them. So that's what we'll do. We'll probably set it off to the side here. This guy, he needs his 4 lapis and 5 living rock. What is this thing? Oh, a mega mana cell housing. Okay, neat. I guess just for storing copious amounts of mana. Good to know. Grab ourselves some lapis blocks. Some living rock. Pretty sure this is the general layout for this guy. Feed him a spark. Okay. Happy to see that we've already recovered all of the used up mana here. Should have progressed this part, and terrestrial, or terrestrial, terra steel, mana pearls, mana diamonds. Get another set of mana steel out here. And we should just be able to click, click, and click. Perfect. These guys are going to drop 500,000 mana through this, and it's already done. So, one interesting thing about mana for these guys, every spark, I believe, moves like 15,000 mana a second or something like that. Or a tick, I can't quite remember. And the only mana throughput issues for sparks is the spark that is sending is the only one that matters. So it can receive from all three of these, so these all send out at full speed to this guy. So if I had 10 mana pools here instead, or I guess 9 mana pools to make it easier, like mental math, it'd be an exact triple of how fast it goes. So they're quite effective at that. Because this guy he could receive infinite mana effectively, or just about effectively infinite mana, as long as there's enough sparks that send as quick as they can to him, which is very nice. But that right there is our first piece of terra steel. Nice and easy little generation, which is what we need to set up our portal to the Alfheim. 2 mana pools with Natura pylons on top with at least 100,000 mana in each of them in an 11 by 11 area around the core. Okay, so Gateway Core and these guys need the little bit, and nothing else needs any, right? Nope. Okay. Looks pretty typical with that, so convert this Terra Steel into Terra Steel Nuggets. And we should actually mark what we need for this. So we need 1 Gateway Core, we need 2 of these Natura pylons, 3 of the Glimmering Wood, and 8 of the normal Living Wood. Should be fine. Let's grab some logs. We'll set up another batch of Living Wood here real quick. Okay, so we'll make these pylons real fast. Let's put away all of our extra stuff that we have on me real quick. Just unclutter our inventory a little bit. 2 normal mana pylons. I have Ender. Let's craft 20. Perfect, thank you. 2 Natura pylons, cool. Click those off. Elven Gateway Core, perfect. Take him off. 3 of the Glimmering Living Wood logs. And then we need 8 of the Living Wood, which it for some reason makes insets to make 9. Okay. So, we'll set it up right here. Yeah, that's fine. Living Wood, Living Wood. Let's get... I guess we can just grab some more Living Wood logs real fast. Because it doesn't matter. We'll just have them there as like an aesthetic of the structure. Living Wood, Glimmering. I think the just accessory log, Glimmering, Living Wood, log. It's funny, they look very similar. Living Wood, Glimmering, Living Wood. This guy is going to want 2 more mana pools, which we have. Put them to the sides here. Natura Pylons. And I usually also put a Spark on both of these guys just to keep them sustained. Unfortunately, we need kind of to get recessives, recessive augments, so that we can put them on our initial mana ones here. It takes mana steel, and it takes the pixie dust, which is through Alfheim trading. So since we can't do that right now, what we can do is a mana tablet. I don't think it matters which one we make this out of. So we'll make 2 mana tablets real quick. Throw one in there, one in there. And we will shift right click these guys to be filling. Because by default, they want to take mana out of things that land in them. Shift right click them with the wand, you'll set them to fill whatever is in them instead. The color slowly coming into the mana tablets is how you can tell how full they are. And also at the very top of my screen, where the like Wayla overview is or whatever, you can see them filling up as well with their little durability bar. This guy's full. This guy's also full. Perfect. Now we can throw a tablet on each. I don't actually remember how much mana a tablet holds, so this is going to be nice to figure out. I think it's probably about half a mana pool. That would make sense based on how much these guys got drained in comparison. Yeah. Probably half a mana pool. You only need 100,000 total mana to actually activate the portal, so giving it a million mana instead would not only activate it, but keep it alive for a long time. Half a pull in each. You only need a tenth of a pull in each. Not even, actually. I don't know if it takes 100,000 each. I think the quest told you. Yeah, 100,000 each. Okay. Oh, activation doesn't even consume mana either. I swear that's changed. I was pretty sure it used to take it. There we go. We can activate our portal to the Alfheim. It does take mana. It's literally lying. For fun, in sport. That 100% took mana. Whatever. Anyways, we have our initial stuff here. Now, I don't think keeping it open takes mana anymore. Or at least not in any amount that actually matters. But throwing items through it will take mana. So our very first thing we want to do is, like I was saying, get these recessive augments going. So that these mana pools will fill other things. Like, I'm pretty sure we can even put a spark on, like, this guy now as well. Oh, no. Okay. This guy's... I forgot. The Runic Altar's immune to sparks. That one has to be mana spreaded. Yeah. So let's get our recessives. We just need Runes of the Earth. Okay, we'll need to make one more set of those then. Probably 2 more sets so we don't use up all of our runes extra. Runes for any Runic Altar crafting, by the way, you keep them. Like, the Rune of the Earth, Autumn, and Gluttony here wouldn't get used to make the Rune of Jotunheim. But if you do a crafting recipe with them, they do get used. So making a Shardalupula, or in the case of making the agglomeration plate, it did use one of each of these runes. So just keep that in mind. Making a Spark Augment for the recessive stuff will use up a rune. So let's get some mana steel, some mana powder, stone, blocks of coal, red mushrooms. We'll do 5 sets. 5 blocks of coal, mana steel, mana powder, and it was stone. It's like I know there's one more thing here. Get our living rock. Okay, perfect. Throw that all down. I can just right click with an empty hand. Throw it down. These guys aren't too bad to manually craft a few sets. Very similar to like the plants. Like unless you need a ridiculous amount of them, it's not too bad. You just do a little bulk batch, and that gives us 10 runes of the earth, so we can make our 3 recessive augments here pretty easy. So let's get some mana steel crafted back down into mana steel itself, and the pixie dust. Pixie dust is going to be mana pearls thrown through the Alvin portal. Pretty simple. Grab some mana pearls, and we'll do just 16 pixie dust for now. Chuck it in, and it'll spit it all back out. Doesn't look super expensive either. Okay, hold on. Okay. I was like, that's not supposed to be something that you get that minimal of a resource amount back. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be 1-to-1. Let's also get our Lexico Botania real fast. Normally the first thing you do, you grab this guy, you throw him through, and you'll get your upgraded Lexico Botania with specialty information granted to you from Alfheim. Not actually quite sure how one gets to Alfheim, but it does seem to be an actual dimension now. It's kind of interesting. See if there's anything there for it. Interesting. You can get rewards from gold blocks at the like for a ring thing, but you have to fix it. Interesting. Some head of a dwarf. Oh, mead of a dwarf actually. I read that as head at first. I see. I see. Oh, okay. So if you make the mead of Gavi, I don't know. I'll just say Vasir. If you make the the mead of Vasir, that lets you walk into the um portal of Alfheim. Okay, interesting. So that's how we get in there. That's cool. I've never done that before. Noted. Alphamancy, so it shows you all of the other specialty stuff now. So you got the Ritual of Gaia, which it shows you the general layout for. Curious if this still does the effect of kicking everything out of your inventory like it used to, because that was kind of a pain. But I'm actually not sure if that's how it's gonna operate still. Although I think that was only on the later Gaia ritual, so you could probably do the low tier ritual just fine. Still says that it needs a Terra Steel ingot as the sacrifice to fight the Gaia. Okay, you need the Gaia pylons. That's why it wants the Alpha Steel ingot. You need Alpha Steel ingot, turn it into nuggets, make the Alpha Steel pylons, which then make the Gaia pylons. Okay, okay. And it is still indeed a Terra Steel. Shows you a little basic structure. Nice. I like that they give you both views for people so that you don't have things on the wrong Y level. Knowing that this has to be like the one block above the beacon is something that's caught me a few times on like trying to place my Gaia stuff down and messing it up. Typical stuff, you get your Gaia spirits and stuff, and then you can fight 2.0. 2.0 gives you a lot more drops, and also gives you substantially better chances for other things too. You get like a ton of runes and such from him. Yeah, the Flugel Tiara is okay, but it's like very limited. You can get like 30 seconds of flying out of it, I'm pretty sure. But it also takes a ton of mana actively while you're doing it. You can move monster spawners, doesn't matter. There's apotheosis in this. You can silk touch them as normal. What's up, Fanbjörg? How you doing? How you doing? We're just cruising around doing a little bit more stuff here. Then good old Dice F8, obviously, into the 6 core items, which are always convenient. Okay, nothing too crazy here. Let's use our pixie dust to make the recessive augments we wanted. And these 3 recessive augments going on these. Now these guys will actively try to drain their mana out to any other stuff that has a spark on it. They can accept mana actively. So this will keep our portal to the Alfheim mana pools full, which also enhances our mana battery pretty decently here. Which is very nice. Okay. Contemplating if there's like what our next major goal for the Britannia is, because it could go into the Guardian Gaia stuff, but I don't know if I really feel like it right now. Thinks the terrestrial agglomeration plate with 1.5 million mana, which you do have. It should take it. I think this is still in range to take even all the way from that pool over there, because it has a spark on it. It'll still take. But I'll also have to build the arena for the Guardian of Gaia fight too. Yeah, and then you can make the mechanical mana infuser, which just does exactly what these guys do, but all in a condensed block instead, I believe. Not sure what the point of upgrading them is. I wonder if we have these in here now. Botanical machinery. Alfheim Market. Okay, so it's just mechanical trading with the portal. IA Factory. Oh, Industrial Agglomeration Factory. Okay, fair enough. So it just replaces the agglomeration plate. Mechanical Brewery. Gives you better automation and retrieves mana from sparks. Runic Altar. This guy just allows direct access to put items in. So it's just got an internal inventory storage, which means this would work really well with AE2. Pretty nice. Looks like any advanced rune. Yeah, any of the advanced runes it looks like is cycling through, which are not super difficult. Neat. And then extra botanical machinery. That's upgrades. And that's all for the greenhouse. This guy was for the tiers. And just said each one does the additional upgrades. Like, if I just type botanical. Basic, upgraded, advanced, ultimate. Okay, yeah, so these are the tiers that it's talking about. So I'm assuming that we can just put these upgrades through in other things as well. No, I think these are all just for the greenhouse. Okay, these could potentially go into the other machines, actually. Increase the internal mana storage of the machines. That would make sense. And energy storage of the machines. And we're back into greenhouse stuff. I did see stuff that said the greenhouse is like super strong. So this guy might be he might be worth creating. Takes what? Crimson Dragons. Oh, didn't even notice those are blocks to netherite. Okay. He's a little expensive, but he's definitely our mana generation situation. Probably with Wither Aconites. Yeah, because we definitely have them. Ooh, they take every other flower. Okay, noted. And a Wither data model. At self-aware tier. Wow. That's a little expensive. Noted. Probably make a mechanical apothecary for that. So you can just craft them all automatically. Yeah, okay. So we kind of just did some of our basic stuff here. Nothing crazy progressed in Botania yet, but that's fine. That'll just set up our energy generation to properly mana bank everything else. I guess we can. I'm not gonna go into the fight or anything. I'm probably not even gonna set up the arena right now, but I can make an Alpha Steel Ingot since we have enough mana for it. Dragonstone, Elementium, and Pixie Dust. This guy's gonna be Mana Diamond. This guy's gonna be 2 Mana Steel. Mana Diamond, 2 Mana Steel, and a Pearl turned into Pixie Dust. Do, do, do. And now if I do this, this, and this, yep, it'll take even all the way from that guy. This is gonna burn 1.5 pools of mana, so it's gonna empty out all 3 of these pretty much. And a bit out of both of those. This guy will make our Alpha Steel Ingot ahead of time. Because if we're gonna just leave it on to consistently run for mana, we might as well drain all of it, so we'll have a full 5 extra pulls worth, and not have to make this ingot again later. At least not immediately. Cool. That's our Alpha Steel Ingot that we're going to need for our generation stuff later. We'll just throw them in the system for now. And, yeah, we'll leave that right there. We'll mess with more Botania stuff with the advanced botanical machines later for like full system automation and things, and probably compress that whole room down into just a few blocks, which will be kind of interesting as a whole. That's fine. What's our Enderpearl status at? We're at about 4,000 Enderpearls. I think we're still slightly short on what we initially wanted to do, but we can definitely start trying to craft some stuff. So quantum computer core, we have enough Enderpearls for this guy now. Let's start up the craft and see how he's going. Should be doing quite a lot of stuff right now. Yeah, it's going to be making a bunch of the quartz glass. Is that recipe set in only like sets of 8 or whatever? This is our energized, or our ultimate smelting factory. The Skystone being such a low recipe there. Let's take out our steel and our silicon. Double all of this to half a stack each. There we go. Actually, we'll double it again. Why not? It doesn't matter to me if it makes 2 stacks of silicon or a stack of steel at a time. That'll be fine for our systems. How's this guy going? He's making a bunch of the singularities now. I think he's just gonna be making these in this reaction chamber, right? Yeah. Is there a more efficient recipe for the singularities? Can I make a block of singularities? No. I was just curious if it could make a block at a time. But 64 Mata Balls, this is pretty efficient recipe-wise, so I suppose that's fine. It is going to make those kind of slowly, though, because it needs 400 of them. Unable to extract enough power. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, it's using 200,000 a tick. Okay, I see. Let's grab some cable real fast. I have to drop like a couple of this cable here. Does this help at all? No. Okay. All right. So what we need to do real quick then is, I'm pretty sure energy cell. I was pretty sure we crafted some at one point. Let's just make a couple energy cells here, just a couple of the dense ones. Yeah, it'll take priority because it's a smaller craft section. I want to put these. I guess it doesn't really matter. I doubt we're gonna use all of these slots. Let's add in like a guy right there and a guy right there maybe. If I put it, oh, I can't really put it right there because the point. Let's grab this point and move it over real quick. Interesting. Let's make an energy acceptor here. Bypass limit. Man, it's still just eating our power system up. This is kind of impressive, actually. I'm not really sure how to get a higher power throughput here. Oh, I guess I can't. What am I talking about? Of course I can. That's my total power generation. I only have I'm just like, oh yeah, man, I don't know how to make this go faster. Yeah, it's because that's all we make is about 40,000 a tick. So yeah, we can pick that guy up. I guess we'll leave that energy cell there. That's fine. Um, yeah, that's because that's all our power system has. Okay, and it takes 1,000,000 RF per singularity, right? That's what it was saying. Yeah, yeah, it uses 1,000 thousands. So it's 1,000,000 RF per singularity. No wonder our power system is getting absolutely swamped. Okay. How many more spots do I have right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we can make a smooth additional 80 of these guys real quick. No crafting CPUs are available. Alright, so hear me out. We know that this is the quantum core. Um Ooh, we don't have a fluid drive for lava or water. Because our externals are extract only. Okay. Drag water itself. Let's get an overflow destruction card. Okay. And the overflow destruction will just make it's effectively a void upgrade. Let's get ourselves a lava one. And also put an overflow in him. And now if we give this drive, since it has our other fluid drive in it for the quantum essence or whatever, these guys will just hold our little bit of extra fluid that happens for like a canceled craft and things. And this should get used up first, I hope, outside of the storage bust ones. So it won't just keep snacking. It doesn't really matter if it does, though. Like I said, we put void upgrades on it effectively, so that is perfectly a-okay. Okay. Alright, so now let's do 8 of these guys. Let's take nothing super significant. Really, honestly, it's quite cheap. It's most expensive parts, 1,500 iron and 2,400 glass. 5,000 oak planks to craft, but thankfully we're pretty quick with that now. Although the thing is, we do these things really slow still, because while the assembler can craft like a shit ton of things at one time, our current coprocessor setup and everything, this guy's only got 4 accelerators on him. So that is still our blocker here. So that's what we need the quantum core for, is to take over the roles of these guys completely. Because currently it can only do 4 different crafting recipes at a time. Versus if we had our quantum core with 500 coprocessors or something stupid, I don't know, it's going to be ridiculous, I think. Actually, we can check. I was going to make what, 122 accelerators? One accelerator adds 8 coprocessors, but I'm actually going to put in the what's it called? The multi-threader, which will 4x the coprocessor value. So you're actually getting 32 per. So 122 times 32, pop up the calculator, 3,904 co-processing chains at the same time, which I think might be just enough to craft things like this ridiculously fast. Honestly, still not crafting that slow, even though I know that it's completely neutered on its capability right now. It will get quicker. Soon. Very soon. Yeah, we'll make another 8 of these guys real quick. Actually, with 8 of those guys, we will need 20 upgrades each, so 160 efficiency upgrades, and we'll craft those 2. It's nice kind of just watching it go through everything. This is one of the best parts about advanced mod in Minecraft, is being able to set things up to operate for you, so you're not having to do everything manually. Very cool. Just because it feels nice. Watching everything kind of just come together and work exactly as you built it to work, just always feels good. Probably a flux storage would be worth making, just to get a small buffer up into my system. Thing is, I don't have that much flux dust. I have 900, but it goes away very quickly if you're trying to build the top tier storage. And if you build anything less than that, then there wasn't much of a point anyways. Grab our 8 solar panels and our sets of upgrades. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it doesn't autofill them back into my hand. Fair enough. Perfect. Okay. And these guys will store an extra bit of RF, so this will increase our stored power to 7.5 million, but that's still not much of a buffer anyways. I'd really like to use the Draconic Energy Orb for the vibe over using Applied Flux. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Yeah. But Applied Flux works really well too. Like this, the 256 million one is it's like a ridiculous amount. What even is this? Devourer of Cosmic Sun. I just need to see what this is. Wait, so the Devourer of Cosmic Silence is a disc that gives you infinite item storage and type support and works with every possible add-on mod. So it can take, it can take RF, all of the mechanism stuff, chemicals, mana. Interesting. Fluids, I would assume. Well, you need Infinity 12 for it, so it's a little end game. But that's just interesting to know. I'm curious on how many mods have extended AE Plus that this is not super gated on. I'd say I'll remember that, but I definitely won't. Just neat little thing to acknowledge there, though. So we've kicked up our system pretty decently in RF, and we should definitely sleep because we are working on a solar power system with no battery. Okay, back to our quantum computer core. Thankfully, we were about halfway through the recipe last time, so continue making our progress. These guys are going to lose all of their stored RF soon-ish. Although, actually, they're not doing too bad. Because each one of these is holding, they've all got about 7 million left. We actually might have enough of a buffer there to get all the singularities made. Yeah, it only needs 130 million more or so. That's fine. I think it'll make all the singularities here without running, and it ran out. Wait, it didn't? Why did it slow down? No, this guy's just being a little slow, I guess. I felt like it was making them slightly quicker than that. How many more of these singularities are we going to need for things? Um, Quantum accelerators. We need what, 122 of these? Okay. So I am acknowledging a requirement for 5,000 singularities there. What does the singularity take for this again? It only needs up to 64k. What do I have in here? Oh, 1k. Let's make one 64k storage component real fast. Why upgrade you? Ooh, yeah, you're slow. Yeah, he's slow enough that it doesn't matter. Hmm. Cause yeah, that's 5,000 of them. That's a significant amount there of power. That's 5 billion RF that we would need. How much RF is stored? Applied flux energy storage. So the largest cell stores 281 trillion RF. Okay, noted. Do we have energy? Okay, we don't. Alright. I guess we're gonna have to. I guess this is gonna have to happen because the system's gonna need to be able to buffer more RF, and building enough cells to store, some kind of copious amount. I just don't think is a particularly realistic approach to what's gonna happen here. So that's a crafting recipe. This guy's gonna be a processing pattern for the reaction chamber, right? Yes. Okay. These guys will make 4Ks. 4Ks will make 16s. 16s can make 64s. 64s can make a 256. One 256 can make a million. Ah. Oh. You know what? This is what that pattern that's what the upload pattern button is. So I could put these recipes in and like let's see. Processing pattern here. Reaction chamber. Let's go and look. Does it add that pattern to the reaction? Okay. I see. I understand what this is for now. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I guess I'll just keep doing my crafting recipes as I was already doing anyways. Um, just made the 1 million, so let's set up the 4, 16, 64 million, and this last one will be the 256. These guys are all crafting recipes, so I can just go and shift click them all in. Energy processors. You guys can go there, and you're gonna upload to the reaction chamber. That's pretty nice. Okay, and I'll just go and shift click all you guys in. Well, that's good to know. So I can just upload directly to the storages that I want them to or to the craftings I want them to work on. Like, how much does this cost? 9,841 energy processors. How much actually is this? 200,000 redstone. 31,000 flux crystals. Bunch of those guys. This one drive though would give our system ridiculous amounts of power input or storage. Like I think it said 281 trillion or something like that. I'd already closed the link unfortunately. I think I retype it. Okay. Why does it not know energy processors? Did we not? I thought I'd sent the recipe. Oh, hold on. No. Energy processor. Reaction chamber. Printed energy circuit. Reaction chamber. Charged redstone. Reaction chamber. And now, if we wanted the good old 256 million. Wait, why does it not know the processor? Is it not uploading them? Oh man. Oh. I think I know what's happening here. Okay. So it needs the processor. Or whatever. Let's click this guy so that we can click it out. So I click this. Encode pattern. Once the pattern's encoded, now I can send it to the reaction chamber. Yeah, and it actually takes the pattern out of here. Printed circuit, encode pattern. Reaction chamber. Charged redstone. Encode pattern. Reaction chamber. And now these recipes should be in there. Okay, so you have to click encode first. Okay, cool. Just learning about my little slice of stuff there. Let's make a 256K. This guy, not nearly as expensive. We're gonna need insulating resin. That looks a little annoying. Oh, it's stuck waiting on 4 ender dust because this guy is not on auto export. Oh gosh, how long has that been blocking recipes? Okay, interesting. Good to know. I don't know what happened to my inscriber there that the auto export got removed, but wait, what happened to his acceleration cards too? Yeah, if I'm gonna use him for ender dust. What's a decent inscriber do? Oh, it runs 4 inscribers at the same time. Okay, neat, noted. Well, that'd probably help with the copious amounts of ender dust that things need. Okay, we'll probably upgrade that guy in a second then. 256K. He needed the hardened resin or whatever. Click you on him. Hardened insulating resin. This guy can just go as a smelting recipe. Food substitutions and item substitutions, go for it. This guy's crafting, and this guy will be. So we can upload this pattern to our. I have no idea why it's got defaulted like Chinese text there. Pretty sure that was Chinese. Hold up smelting factory. This guy can go to our simple matrix pattern core. Hardened insulating resin. Let's try to make 3 of it. Okay. Well, that was pretty easy. We make 1 of the storage cells. Okay. So applied flux. A flux accessor. Oh, how? Actually, we might need the energy acceptor now. Oh, we also very well could be in the realm once again of I'm already using up all of the power. I have no power to backlog and fill things with. Oh wait, no, these guys have a bunch of power. Okay. How do you get the storage cell? Hmm. Might just need the flux accessor. Okay, cool. Well, this is just going to buffer a very large amount of power into our system now, which is nice. It's going at about 300,000 a tick. I wonder what the limitation on this guy is, because that's not how much we're generating. Yeah, this guy's on a disabled limit as well. Maybe the cell itself has a. Actually, that probably makes the most sense. What's up, Dave Mouse? Finally caught your stream again. Nice, nice. Welcome back. You were just messing with some good old applied flux and trying to refigure out how this works. I think the flux successor has a specific throughput based on the actual FE storage cells themselves. I think this guy can only fill at a certain speed, probably 300,000 RF a tick, and probably empty at the same speed, which isn't terrible. That's not too bad. Yeah, this will give our system a much needed buffer. Also, that's going to hold a lot of RF for a 256K. It's already holding 600 million um, at 150 of its 262,000 bytes. So 164 is 680 million. So let's do 262,144, 262,144 divided by. We'll let it get to exactly 200 bytes real fast, and then we'll see how much actual RF that is. Okay, so 200 bytes is about 835 million. Divide that by 200, so that's 1310 times 835 million. Okay, yeah, so this is going to hold somewhere around a trillion RF for this 256K. Yeah. Well, that's nice. We need it to hold 5 billion RF for the quantum computer crafting stuff that we wanted to do. So I guess that's going to be good enough. Hmm. Yeah. Contemplating reworking my power system then. How much does one ultimate cable do? Okay, it's 3.2 million a tick for one ultimate cable. Because maybe what I do is I make another network, a secondary network, and then I set this guy over to power in instead of just power. You've seen the ultimate solar panel? Is OP? Like which one? Like from this one? Like the Void Miner stuff? Like these solar ultimate panels? Which are definitely quite strong. Okay, okay. Yeah, I figured because they, like just that raw generation amount of 203 million before any upgrades is pretty strong. The problem being it's very expensive. It needs whatever this is from Runic Botany to even make it. The Solar Rosarium is then not that great in like the comparison. With all the modifiers added, you saw a guy make 21 billion RF a day. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hold on. How's my best solar flux panel looking? Yeah, the solar flex panel is only 32 million a tick if you have the efficiency upgrades in it. For the Infinity tier 1 too, mind you. Okay, noted. So the high level Void Miner solar panels are strong then. Good to know. He was making 21 billion. God, that's a pretty big increase over its like base generation of 203 million. Because you 10 it, so it's 100 times better with his upgrades. I guess it makes sense because all the upgrades have like a slightly better modifier. So if you're using the ultimate efficiency modifiers, you're getting a 15% boost for each one. And I think they're multiplicative. Hmm. Noted. Could have been nerfed now because the creator's watching his videos to fix bugs. That's fair. That's fair. I haven't seen any like significant patch notes. I'm not quite updated to the newest version. I do know that. I think I'm down like one version, but the things in the patch notes weren't really relevant to me. They're like late game changes, which I'll do soon. But yeah. So we're gonna do power in. We'll create a new network here. And we will set that guy like this, and we're gonna just, so what I can do is, since I can make a new network, I'll leave the initial one as power, and I'll set that one to power in. I can put a universal cable, which limits our RF output right now to 3 million a tick, so I just need to keep that in mind. This guy will set to normal power. Now it's just like cycling our RF back and forth. This guy is going to be set to power in, and these solar panels over here will be set to power in as well. There we go. This will drain all of the RF into the internal battery of the system, and the system will only put RF out as it's being used. There was a mechanism machine you could use to change ingots for other modded ingots. Oh, fun. Yeah, okay. So our actual total power system usage here isn't too high. And this will let us utilize the billion RF for everything else too. Or I guess the 1 trillion RF storage this is going to do later in a single drive. Like, I really want to use the Draconic Orb, but I just don't know if it's worth it, considering I could do one set of full drives for this, and it'd give me, of the 256 millions, and it'll give me about the same value, I think. So, I don't know. We'll we'll consider the orb. It was gonna be part of the aesthetic, but I'm not really sure. I'll figure it out. But anyways, a big question is if it's gonna actually use this energy properly for stuff in the immune system. I would assume it would, right? Surely it uses it on its internal power, but I'm actually not sure. I can actually see the power in here too. That's nice. Trying to see if it'll power its own stuff with applied flux. I guess easiest way actually, really honestly, is just to finish crafting something. So our quantum core actually finished, which is very nice. Use the neutronium ingot from another mod to the ingot for the infinity. That's funny. Some kind of like bypass exploit for it's oversharing what it deems proper MBT value for things for an exchange. That's amusing. Allowing for turning substantially easier access ingots into stuff that's a little ridiculously strong. That makes sense. I'm not surprised. Bugs like that, people need to find them though. That's always needed. So we have our quantum core. We definitely want the multi-threader. Do we have a multi-threader? We have the data entangler. Okay, we'll make one data entangler too. How many things is he gonna need? He needs 874 singularities on his own. Well, alright, I guess we're gonna find out. Is it gonna use its stuff properly or no? Is the question. Probably actually easier to look at this section. Look at the FE value. Draining the stored FE. It's funny. It's not even using it's not even making the singularities yet. It's making everything else first. No, make the singularities. I need to see if you're gonna work right. No, it is draining the power as intended, which I would assume means it is indeed operating off of our internal storage. Although it could also just be because it's nighttime, power's getting drained from our other things that are running. So let's go and sleep real fast. Nope. He is gaining energy again. I guess we're kind of stuck seeing what seeing what this guy's gonna do. This is the data entangler, right? Yeah. Which is probably completely unnecessary. Is the funniest part too, because the core itself gives 256 million crafting storage, and I think 256 million crafting storage is already more than you need. And so this will just kick it up to a billion crafting storage, which I can't imagine I'll ever get to. Um, but you might as well, right? What's our ender pearl situation actually? Nice, we're up to 8,000. God, setting up for the simulation chamber is just super effective, man. You get to get pretty large quantities of whatever you need pretty fast. What was the thing we're missing? It was a multi-threader. Yeah, this guy. Something in advanced AE multi-block? Is this trying to show what the inside should be? Does it recommend 20? Like, psychopathic to recommend 20 256 million quantum computer storages? What kind of I can't even think of the biggest recipe I've done being more than like a couple million bytes. Like, that feels a little insane. Like, yeah. Yeah, so one of my Project Ozone runs for Kappa mode, I had a 34 million byte recipe, and that was with most things being on demand and very little automation for some of the higher stuff. But like, oh my god, that needing 20 256s with a data entangler to quadruple them. So that's like 21 billion bytes of storage. It's just insane. That is copiously unnecessary. I respect it, I guess. Um anyways. Ooh, the multi-threader takes another core. That's interesting. Well, the multi-threader is definitely worth making, is the thing. So we'll definitely keep that one. That's just so funny to me that it wants so much, or like that they recommend so much. Okay, so we're making these 600 actually. What's our RF looking like? Okay, so he does drain from the applied flex system. I figured it would. It would actually be very weird to me if it didn't, but I wanted to make sure. So this is good. This means that this stored RF here will power the 1 million RF per singularity that we need, which is a little ridiculous cost-wise. But hey, that's not bad. So unfortunately, that also means we do need to wait for the system to get up to like 5 billion RF to make all of the like crafting processors effectively that we needed, because we wanted 122 of the accelerators. We wanted this data entangler. We wanted one of the multi-threaders. This guy actually cheaper. We don't have a CPU available that's big enough because it's 100,000 bytes. These are only 16s. Actually, let's get some cable real fast. Put them offhand. Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. So if I click move on the node, then I can click on something else individually, and it kind of extends it down. Okay, sweet. Cool. It takes our accelerators. So let's cancel our data entangler real fast. There we go. Throw in the extra accelerators there. So now this guy's got 12. Um, sure, we'll give him a marginally increased amount of storage for now, just since we have them. Okay. This limits us to only one crafting recipe at a time, but it will go substantially faster. Actually, do I even want this guy right now? Yeah, I guess I'll just finish making him since we'd already started crafting him decently. He's still making things kind of slow. I felt like the 12 additionals was going to make the 1Ks go a little quicker. Because I was pretty sure the whole point of the assembler matrix stuff was that the crafting cores or whatever. Yeah, because every crafting core can run 8 crafting jobs at a time. So I was pretty sure that's how that would work out. And so it would be able to run, 8 or, 16 or 32 or, 128 of one recipe if it needed to. I don't know. It could be actually. It could just be running, 8 sets of the 1Ks or whatever, and it's just difficult to notice. It is crafting them pretty fast. Now it's crafting all of the tier ups at the same time. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, that's our data entangler going to be done soon. And we already have our 218 structural glass, which is like the outside or whatever. Because it doesn't have walls and frames like the other one does. This is just a glass cube. Can it be hollow for the most part, or does it have to all be full? Okay, no. Can't be empty, has to have quantum crafting units. Okay. Quantum crafting units. So like what? 122 of these. Dude, that's still 1600 singularities just for those guys. I assume a quantum crafting unit's used for every single one of the Accelerator. Oh yeah, the difference between the accelerators and the unit is very minimal. You need 4 more processors and 4 shattered singularities, which is where the singularity cost comes in. That's why it's a bit more expensive for the accelerators. I see. Oh, multi-threader. Yep. Oh, only 426 singularities for that guy. It might already be more than we have RF for. Yeah, it's just about there. Yeah, we'll drain the rest of that battery out pretty much. Not to mention the additional power for everything else that this is doing. Oh, see, there we go. Now it's making the 1Ks much faster. It's so expensive. The power draw on these is pretty funny. Okay, so we're gonna need those singularities too, but this will be our entangler, our computer core. Um, our multi-threaders getting crafted right now. And then it's literally, after that, it's just the accelerators, which is just going to be expensive on its own. But I guess we could build our cube. He's pretty simple. He's just a 7x7 like that side. How did we end up doing this? 1 block from the back, 2 blocks from the wall. Okay. 1 block from the back, 2 banks from the wall. Torch over there. That torch right there. Okay. This guy, since there's no frames or anything, just kind of build him up a little edge so we can use the wand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, we must have gone up one. Alright, this actually just looks off. So I've messed this up in some other way. I have. Okay, hold on. Alright. Deconstruction real quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think what happened is I clicked 7 long as well, so it was actually 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Now this inside's a 5x5. Yeah. Oops. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we got the 25 to fill in the roof to like cap it all off. Put in our good old quantum computer core. We'll put in our data entangler. What has happened here? Oh, it's nighttime. I was like, why is there power out? It's because I'm using a shit ton of power right now. So it burned through the rest of our energy making the singularities, and it's nighttime, so it's fully dead. On the bright side, it just continues whenever the power's out. You know, whenever you get the power back on again. That's nice. Small negative of the solar panel situation currently. I need to upgrade our power situation. That should probably be a focus very soon. And for that, we just need dragons. Because we need Dragon's Breath. Easiest way would definitely be Loot Fabricator. And then the next tier up, the only other real difference is also Dragon Eggs, which could still be done through the Loot Fabricator. Which would need a Dragon module, or data model. Dragon data model. And 4,000 Arvitic, so he takes about one of our current solar panels, about half of it on its own. No, a full thing. I forget. They're 2,048, 4,096 with our efficiency upgrades to double them. So he takes a full guy on his own right now. We can get to the end with an end cake, it said. Telepate. Oh, that's cheap. The only annoying part is I don't think we have any kind of eggs. Cake base? Nope, still needs an egg. Alright. Is there any of the other eggs we can acquire? Okay, that's Aether eggs. I'm surprised there's not an eggless recipe. Also need milk buckets. We do have some chicken. I think that was from executing the chickens we got from the Grove one, right? Yeah, Gateway of the Emerald Grove. Okay, well, we can spawn this back in then. Let it kill the zombies and such. Spawn it back here. Turn this on. And this has how many waves? 4 waves. So fourth enemy wave, we need to turn it off whenever it finishes so that we don't execute our guys that we want. Just stand right here. I know sometimes it spawns things on the walls, which is why we ended up putting the entity conveyors up there too. Stand over this so they don't try to run away from it. They never win, but they can like delay their death slightly. This is wave 4. And now we turn this off. And there's all of our guys. Okay. Just to confirm, does the chicken prediction not give you eggs? That's funny. I guess you don't get eggs from killing them. Although you don't get dragon's breath from killing the dragon either. So, alright. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the best immediate defense. The chicken essence would require chicken seed, soul jars of chickens, which you could extract feathers and such out of to get enough. I could also sit here and wait for 1 egg. Did the chickens say whenever their next egg is? Can I get the view of a chicken? Or if I stand up, or if I like float here, yeah, I'll have a singular target hit only. Kill off some of the bigger animals. Actually, what I want to do real fast. There we go. Just get a few milk buckets for the IMI system, since we're gonna need 3 of them. What in the world was that like demon death noise? And why was I hearing that killing sheep? Next egg. 380 seconds. I assume you guys are all pretty close to the same duration. Oh no, there's like 200 seconds on that guy's next egg. Okay, so we're about 3.5 minutes away from the next closest egg, it looks like. I think he's the fastest one. Okay. We will leave them there for 3 minutes, and we'll come back and get the egg. How's our... Ooh, our crafting finished. That was the multi-threader. Perfect. Ta-da! Okay, so now we just need the 122 accelerators, which will take 4,970 singularities at 1,000,000 RF apiece, so 4.97 billion RF. Give or take. Not to mention the other processes for that. We have 215 million, which ain't bad, but it's not quite 5 billion either. So that's gonna take a little bit. Good to know. Okay. So we're waiting a few minutes on that egg. Anything else we needed right now? I guess here, let's claim our quest rewards. Put them all away. Ooh, wait. The reward for Terra Steel gave you 4 more Terra Steel? Really? Dang ya. Yeah, nice. Too bad Alf Steel didn't give me 4 more Alf Steel. That'd be nice. Another Terra Steel for this one too once you make the Gaia Pylons. Noted. This is the 82 integration. I assume this will be really nice to integrate our mana usage with the botanical machines, presuming they still can accept this properly. And if we can do that and just set every craft to take as much mana as it needs for the craft, that would be pretty nice. That'd be a pretty easy method to get that going. The Greater Band of Aura does make you 10 mana a second internally for your stuff, which is pretty nice. Nothing crazy though. I'm pretty sure the End of Flame, yeah, End of Flame triples that. Still not too bad though for just natural generation. You got the Terra Steel tools, which you don't really need, like Chop a Whole Tree, but Vein Miner does that. The Shatter, like the Shatter is pretty cool. I'm curious if the Terra Shatter, mining the 9x9 blocks, if I was to set it to mine a mining tunnel instead, so I mined 128 blocks forward, if it'd break the 9x9 in the whole way. Non-zero chance, I think that it would do that. Yeah, that can be automated with 82. Oh wait, you can upgrade the orchid? What's the upgraded orchid do? You just feed it stone and it just converts directly? This looks very limited in what it gives you. You get so coal, iron, redstone, copper, gold, emerald, lapis, diamond. So it's just the basic resources and that's it. That's pretty useless to me. Noted. Hmm. Okay. Well, these look cool. So like, infinite seed catalyst. Needs any seeds. Wow, okay, these are cheap. So I presume I could put the infinity seed and the infinity water catalyst inside of the mechanical apothecary. I could put those 2 upgrades in, and then it would never need either. Infinity living rock catalyst inside of the um, runic altar, the automated one of that. Then we do have a mechanical mana pool as well, which I assume is, you can just increase the mana storage. Then you got the greenhouse. Oh, there's a full text slot for this. Consumes energy and fuel that is eaten by the inserted flower. Okay, so it needs power. Does need RF for this guy. Fuel cells are locked until you put a flower in that needs it. Makes sense. You can increase the amount of output, improvement, scale, efficiency, and speed. Okay. With enough upgrades, the greenhouse becomes the best mana generators available, perfect for large-scale Botania automation. So I guess this is saying for the resources, so an Endoflame burning one piece of coal would give 1600 mana, I presume it means. Munch Dews can be fed leaves for 160 mana. TNT for Entrepiniums can be fed TNT for 650. Hector Mirrors with cakes will give you 7200. That's pretty good. Garmialis is always dependent on the saturation of the food, like the food shanks and saturation that it gives. Slime blocks for the Narshlimus. Or Flausia to eat mystical flowers for like nothing. And the Wither Aconite for 1.2 million mana per Nether Star. And it does tell you need one capacity upgrade if you want to use a Wither Aconite in there. Otherwise, it won't store enough. That's noted. One Nether Star converting to over a mana pool is pretty good. Let's go over here and collect my egg. Oh, an egg from every chicken. Or, well, all but one chicken. Maybe every chicken. I might have lost one. I'm not sure. 5 eggs there, though. That's pretty nice. How's our RF looking? 557 million. It's slowing down because it's nighttime. Sleep real fast. And let's make ourselves that ender cake. I don't have a bow. Do I have anything in here for a bow in the system? No. What kind of bow options do we got in here? Obviously, you got the mystical agriculture ones. Dimensional bows. From the dimensional pockets thing. I have no idea how, like, good this stuff is. I've never even seen this mod before. Actually, it might be worth looking up real fast. Dimensional pockets mod. Go and do a little double check here. You can create customizable pocket-sized dimensions for storage, automation, and more. Portable dimensions function as personalized bases accessed anywhere. Use modular upgrades to enhance your pocket dimensions, such as crafting stations, sharding docks, interfaces. Blah blah blah. And it also introduces a variety of new armor. And does not have any kind of actual explanation on how good the armor and stuff is. Okay. I don't know. I can't see anything specific on it. We'll ignore that for now. Oh, you have all the armor plus bows too. Let's see. Oh, just compressed obsidian. I don't know. I guess we could make the enriched obsidian bow. Like 3 compressed obsidian and just make this guy. Looks pretty simple. Has a ton of durability on it. We have 11 arrows. We should have what's called. Dang it. I know that we have like an enchanting table thing. Do we still have? Oh, we still have it over here. Okay. The enchanting infuser. Can I give you infinity? No. Can I give you a pylon? I'm pretty sure not, right? I'm pretty sure these guys have their stuff capped out. Like, I don't think this guy will actually add any Eterna to this situation. Yeah. Because all this does is it adds up to a maximum of 15. These guys will add 1.5 up to the maximum of 22.5, which is what it's currently at. So I need to upgrade these guys more. Dang it. My issue is, pretty sure arrows are not, I can duplicate them all by just hitting them all with some glowstone. I have a magic arrows. I don't think I have all of those things. Construct stuff. Got chemical quiver. Oh, actually, hold on. There's still the flux infused bow in this? There is. Flux infused ingots. Oh man, and you can just craft them outright too by making the fire charges, of which we have tons of coal, gunpowder, and blaze powder, so we can just do the crafting recipes inherently, just to skip the machines for now. And then still have the quiver for this as well. Yep, still has the quiver. Redstone Arsenal. I'm not sure if they've changed the way that these work. Documentation on Redstone Arsenal. Okay, the bow. Shoots arrows quicker, does more damage. And then the quiver gives you free arrows, right? Yep. Gives you the no drop infinite arrows. Okay, cool. I was just double checking that this was gonna still work the same way. Flux infused gem, easy. Tin rod. Alright, hold on. Okay, flux infused I think might be our method of choice here. And actually one more thing about this too. Oh yeah, we left the initial power system the same. So I was gonna change our wireless charging over, but it's on the actual output power system, so it'll work fine. I was making sure. Okay, so flux infused ingots, fire charges. Okay, I actually don't have the recipe for these in here. Makes sense. Code this, send him on over to the assembler matrix crafting. That is so funny to me, because that just said that I don't have enough coal. Because all of our coal gets automatically compacted, so we need to do a coal recipe down here real fast. So we can convert our coal blocks back down as needed. Okay, make like 100 fire charges real fast. Let us get some flux infused ingots. Grab a stack. Get our bow and our quiver. They look all different now. It's right next to the crossbow. I'll use the normal bow. I think I like it more. This guy, he's gonna need 4 of those. This guy's gonna need. So I need like 10 of these gems. Make 16 real quick just in case. Alright, obsidian rod. Make like 8 of those. Probably more than we need, but that's fine. 2 of these rods, because I know we need at least 2. Flux infused bow. And flux infused gear. And flux infused quiver. Cool. These guys are charging up. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny, actually. So the change mode for Redstone Arsenal is the exact same as I've set for my stuff. Let's change. Okay, let's actually press V. Toggle invis. Does that work? I'll turn that off. Let's find it. Is it not an in-game bind? It's so funny. It's so hard to find things like this. Um, man, what is Redstone Arsenal's thing for this? Sort none. Okay, we'll sort none and then search for the mod. Okay, it doesn't have one. Alright, let's actually then search for engine, toggle engine. We'll set this to keypad 5. And we're gonna turn off narrate. Get that out of here. Okay, so now my engine toggles keypad 5. I'm totally gonna forget that and it's gonna be a pain, but that'll let me press V on these without it being an issue. Um, I want to shoot something that, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, almost didn't toggle it already. Let's go in here real fast. Okay. And then if I toggle this bow, now it explodes, right? Oh wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, nice. Interesting. So they've definitely changed that part. So maybe it has to be full charge because it used to be that the arrow didn't drop at all. Like that was like the perk of the quiver. It would make you free arrow. Well, it'd make you arrows from RF. Very interesting. Let's go home. Let's put away these arrows. Maybe it's because we have arrows on us. That looked like it was flying pretty straight. Can we put some enchants on this guy? Okay, well, or bow that we just made. Piercing, quick shot. Triples the speed that your bow draws to full power. Is kind of insane considering I can put 4 on that. That would take 8 levels. Cap out at 4 right now. Give it 1 level of multi-shot just because. Give it power 9 because it's what I can right now. We give it 1 level of multi-bow as well. One level of looting just for fun. The question is, am I still shooting a bunch of arrows? Like, is the multi-shot working here? Or no? I'm very curious. Hold on. Alright. Back in here again. Let's find something. Do you get 1 shot now? How much damage did that do to you? I hit it for about 30. It's pretty spammable now. If I fully charge, it does 1 shot a normal mob. I'm not fighting a lot of crazy bosses or anything in this right now, so I think this will do me just fine. God damn it. Wait, actually, hold on. I want to check something real fast. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to sleep. So I'm noticing that actually the system doesn't automatically pull from the power for itself, but I think we can easily fix that by just adding a cable from this guy, and there we go. This will keep our internal, because I noticed that this guy still had 1.4 billion in there and our system turned off. We don't want that to happen, but if we set this guy on the flux accessor, this should keep himself full in theory. But yeah, and this should keep our actual ME system up with power even whenever our initial solar panels are down, based off of the system's internal RF, because it has enough of a battery buffer in here to not be an issue. Hopefully that'll work properly. If it doesn't, we'll have to figure something else out for that to make sure the system doesn't go down. Okay, well, we have Flux Infused Bow with some basic enchants and Quiver now. That should be a pretty easy Ender Dragon kill now, so let's make ourselves the end cake. We need normal cake. We're going to need a little bit of wheat and our egg. Did we not put eggs in there? We did. I was like, why is it not showing up? I think what's happening is we were on one of the other recipes that it wanted like a Moa egg or something. There we go. Just shift grow that guy a little bit. And now, cake. Perfect. We've made a cake. I don't know if it's a question or not. It doesn't look like it. We make ourselves an end cake from the telepastries. We'll put it on our initial little island for fun. It's got 6 bites left. We can probably refill it with like Eyes of Ender or something, as per usual. Got some relic apples on me for food. I can put away that. Those two. Then can go away too. Oh, actually, get our deep learner back out. Get some data models here. I don't remember if you have to kill multiple ender dragons or not to get started on the data models. We'll get 4 just because. Then let's. What was I gonna do? Gosh dang it. And I feel like there was like one more thing I wanted to do. Was it the was I thinking about making the crystals or whatever? And crystals. The issue is we don't have the gas tiers for that. Although, actually, I guess what? Worst case, we need to make 6 of these guys. So if I pop in here real fast, set this guy to end crystal. Give this guy an end crystal as well. Because, you know, we're already up to 4 with this. At most we would need 6 kills. I don't even think we do. I think you get like the bonus stuff or whatever for the Ender Dragon one, so I'm not even sure if you need to kill it 6 times. But if we do, we just need 5 extra sets of crystals, so we need 20. So if we can get up to 20 end crystals here real quick off of our Enderman guys, then we can just use that. No problem. I will have to think about some separate method of the item separation, because like this guy gets all the sheep predictions, this guy gets all of the Enderman predictions, and they're all like on an interconnected item system here, which is really convenient for everything except for if I want 2 different results from one set of output. My thoughts are I put 2 simulators, a fabricator, 2 simulators, a fabricator. These simulators are connected as per normal. The loot fabricators are connected as per normal, but then these 2 simulators have a back connection, like in between or something, that are just for the predictions. The other one's just for the predictions as well. And we don't have this guy. The fabricators just have one passive pipe only on it instead. Yeah, I think that's the method. We'll just give them their one passive pipe so that they can extract the resources properly from the retrieval pipe over here. And then we'll have a separate item pipe system like on each one individually that will feed it the stuff needed. Yeah, I think that'll work. Should work at least. I don't see why it wouldn't. We got ourselves 20, what? 28? Yeah, 28 end crystals. That's not too bad. And we can set this guy back to intervals. Perfect. Okay, well, let's head on over into the end. Let us get all of this out of the way. Oh, it's got the like modified stuff. What is this? It's like a couple meteors. Turn our sound down a little bit. It's a little loud for me. Might be loud for you guys too. I'm not sure. Let me click you. Yeah. Actually, let me get a relic apple out. I wonder if I can put this in a back slot. No. Okay. Get the last two learned as well here. Look. He has such a bad hitbox. Right click him. There we go. That's our 4 Ender Dragon data models. Yeah, 1 data per kill, and it does need 6 data. Okay, so we will need to kill 6 of them. And now it should just be a matter of yeah, we don't even have to clear its stuff. That was pretty easy. Cool. Well, that's also a dragon heart. It's reopened the entrance to the end, and if we cruise on down here, turn our engine off for a second. Yeah, there you go. The respawn cycle. You gotta wait for it to do all the noise stuff again. And then we can just spam him. So, the bow works exactly as intended. A little jank. But that means this is going to be really strong doing those same kind of enchants for the, like, Draconic bow. It's funny, it gets so shredded, it's just getting permanently knocked back here. You can just tap it because the quick shot charge up. And we can go even higher than what we have. Which I assume would just make the taps even stronger as it's closer and closer to full power. Very nice. Surprised the dragon's not dropping any like normal scales or anything. I kind of expected it to. Shot at it for fun just to see if the empowered quiver and bow would do anything to it. Kill these guys 4 more times. There's our 2 portals. I was like, where's our second portal at? Like it should give us another one out. These guys are going to be a lot of RF to sustain. Being 4,000 apiece. But they do manage the next two solar panel upgrades this way, which is a pretty significant jump. Interesting. Just see our arrows flying around doing whatever nonsense. Okay, make sure that we set all of these guys back down again. I don't know if they give you extra dragon egg. Bruh. Not sure if it gives extra dragon eggs or not, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, nice. Still have my torches on me. Cool. Might as well pick up this dragon egg while we're here. Also, pretty easy EMC method for your early EMC once you unlock it. Although, by the time we're there, I doubt that matters. By the time you actually unlock your ability for it. Mint crystals. Interesting. Bad dog. Bad. Stay over there. Okay. Well, good thing we brought in extras. Ow. Ow. Almost died by multiple random explosions. Fun. I see that there's extra things up here. Also, I did notice that it wiped all of our things again. Maybe because it wanted to wait until the Ender Dragon had finished. Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. It's probably the dragon needed to finish dying all the way, and then it does a small explosion to relight the portal in the bottom, and that explosion wiped all the end crystals I put down. Good thing I brought enough extra to get, my few mistakes out of the way here. But kill this guy. We'll wait for it to finish dying fully, relight the portal, put its new egg down or whatever. It is a very simple method. I do like just quick shot spam on the bows. It's always a fun time. I should have really brought some bottles and stuff so I could upgrade the first few sets of solar panels manually. Because like it takes literally 2 Dragon's Breath per solar panel set, and I could have done that without having to wait on the deep learner stuff to like actually go up properly. So that's kind of my bad. Actually, let's get some bottles. Like I think we can just go home, and I think we can even actually just slash back since that's where we last were. Yeah. Okay. We'll grab some bottles real quick like that, and this is enough for like if we get a stack worth or whatever. That's enough for our second set of things. No problem. Bop this guy on the head a few times. enter air. I was just making sure that was a thing still. I need him to shoot at me. It's 15. Ow. It's good enough. And then we will. What do these have? 5% accuracy for the most basic tier. We have the 4 crystals, so we'll spawn in one more set and kill him. Our dragon egg stack is growing. We'll spawn in one more guy. We'll try to get a few more of the dragon's breath real fast. This will be enough for. Like, we have 2 eggs on me. 5 eggs there, so I'll get another one. So that'll be 6. And then 7. So we'll have 9 eggs. 8 gives us 4 crafting sets of the tier, like, 8 solar panel, I think. So we just need a bit more dragon's breath, yeah. And then we should be able to get quite a few going before we even get lucky with the prediction models and stuff that we need. Give me that. Go. To 22. Come on, shoot one more shot at me. I'll stand right here. Oh, nice. He shot some in the air. Okay, goodbye. I think his other shot went to Narnia. Master the Dragon upgrade? Oh, Dragon Smithing template. Wait, I have been slowly but surely acquiring dragon loot. It's just really rare. Okay, fair enough. Hit this guy one time. Hit him again. Where'd you go? Where'd that one go? Oh, there he is. I was like, I didn't want him on the obsidian, so I don't have to break a piece of obsidian. We got 35 Dragon's Breath. Not too shabby. Get this egg, and then we should just be able to break out this guy. There we go. 8 dragon eggs. Perfect. I feel like we're missing one. I thought we were supposed to have 9, but that's fine. That's all I need. And then we got the 35 Dragon's Breath here too. Yeah, look, that's 2 million EMC worth of eggs. Nice. Let us go on down here and head on to the portal. Skip their little thing. Okay, back at the base. Put all that stuff in there for now. So we have solar panel 6, solar panel. Usage on this guy is 7, and this guy will be 8. So encode 8, encode this, encode ender glass, emerald glass, and cell 5. And then this guy, sell 5. And all of these can go in here. So now, in theory, if I request a solar panel 8, I request a set of 2, we can do it. Nice. And it takes, so it only takes 4 Dragon's Breath for, so it takes 2 Dragon's Breath and 1 Dragon Egg per solar panel 8. And these guys produce 32,000 a tick each. You only craft them in sets of 2, and they actually will produce about twice as much, so 65,556, because I'll use the solar efficiency upgrades. So I can definitely make, like, yeah, I should be able to make 8 of these. Uh, I'm intrigued on why we do not have sand available, considering this. I was pretty sure we linked the compressed sand, which has 332,000 sand in it. Just double check, linking tool. Turn off my magnet real fast. Oh, okay. I meant to, and I never did. I meant to link these guys so the system could use them for whatever they needed. And that's why we even gave them all an upgrade, so they hold 300,000 of each. Okay, so now let's look at 8s. Let's order 8 of them. Yep, all they need is sand. That's what they were missing. Now these guys are all full crafting. These guys at 65,556 a piece. This is gonna increase our stuff up to like 500,000 RF a tick, which is much better. It's over 10 times better than what we're currently operating on. And then efficiencies. So we'll need 160. Oh, we can't actually do these right now because we only have the one crafting processor right now, but that's fine. We can make the 160 after. Then we need our universal cables. Give me 1 second, guys. Love you. Okay. Sorry, I just had to pack some real quick. Alright. We'll just add some more universal cables. We won't remove our old ones. We'll just keep them here for now. Eventually the old panels will get taken out and replaced. Like, we probably could have done that for this right now, since we have enough extra RF in the system that it would have been fine. Yeah, 2.5 billion to run without solar panels for a little bit. Then these guys could have crafted up and it would have saved us some, but it should be fine. Yeah, I guess it's making 32 of these, so it's making twice as much as we already have, system-wise. Which is fine by me. Once this finishes, we'll make ourselves the solar efficiency upgrades, which will need 160, and then we will also need to make some more universal cable. We'll make some more universal cable first. God, 13,000 mirrors. I hope the subcrafting gets a lot faster with the quantum computer activating. It should. I said I'd be surprised if it didn't get substantially quicker off of this. Yeah. Well, oh, actually, you know what we can do? No, we can't. Well, we can. Dude, fabricator. 2. Yeah. We can't while we're waiting on those, but can we just craft them outright? Okay, so we need some stone. Let's grab some cobble. Stack of redstone torches. 2 of these guys. Okay, so 2 loot fabricators and then simulation chambers. Alright, Enderman. I'm gonna have to put you down. Alright. Alright, Enderman, I'm gonna have to put you down. he, he was really trying to dodge it. He was doing too much, though. His little warping was annoying. Okay, and then let's make 4 more comparators, and hopefully we have everything for this. Aha, we do. Perfect. Okay. Pipes. Small item pipe. Oop, we are out of gold nuggets. Go make more of those, and the energy pipe should be plenty. Okay. And we can just set up all of this system while we're waiting. So 2 simulation chambers fab, 2 simulation chambers fab. Pop these guys open, take all these out. Okay. Connect all of these guys up. Just the basic line as is. These guys are all getting their prediction matrices as they should. These guys will be set on passive still. We'll set this guy to retrieve egg. Good old dragon eggs and dragon breath. Perfect. These guys then separately are going to get another layer here. Do it from back here. Force a joint. Force a joint on that one too. This one's our loot fabricator. Simulation chamber to simulation chamber. And then let's do it to the loot fabricator like this. There we go. Okay. This guy's on the loot fabricator. He's going to be on retrieval of dragon prediction. Same one on this guy. Retrieval of dragon prediction. And the reason why it doesn't matter for the MBT like button on these guys is because they don't have anywhere else to take from. So, should be fine. Now, it's just a matter of giving all of this power. Let's turn off my jetpack real fast. Force joint. Force joint. These guys should have plenty of power for all of their purposes. Because this guy manages 100,000 RF a tick, and these guys are only going to add 16. These guys are about 2, so 18. These guys are like nothing. Yeah, 64 is like 256, so somewhere around 18,000 RF a tick needed for all of these guys to run. Actually, this should tell us directly. Yeah, 18, 19. These guys have a 7% chance right now. They are getting their things taken out properly, thankfully. Come on. We need to get 2 predictions. I don't really care where from. Just so that we can set one to our end crystals and the other one to our eggs. Let's see. Oh, our solar panel's finished. So let us get our universal cable. Let's request 30 of that real fast. Literally instant, nice. Grab our 8 solar panels that we have and get some efficiency upgrades. We'll need 160, 20 each. Let's add another layer of these guys. Yeah, that's funny. You can't shift click them in like normally. And now we've just added a ton of power generation to our system. These guys, even at their inefficiency, are generating 48k. Every one of these is generating as much as all of these guys at peak, even in the early morning. This should be adding substantially more RF to our system now. Very nice. This is a much more acceptable generation standard, I think. Because I think I said what those guys are gonna make 524,000, so like 560 or 570,000 in total at peak efficiency rates for all of the solar panels there. That's pretty good. What are other things for these guys? It's fine. There's an AU upgrade to connect them directly into the grid. Don't think that's super necessary though. Okay, that should be them fully drained of battery, so I'm generating 606,000 RF a tick. That was more than I expected, but it makes sense. There's like the little bit on the end of each one that I just wasn't adding, but that does add up. Very nice. That's a considerable amount of RF. We're up to 4 billion. We needed, what, 5 billion for the 122 of these guys. Yeah, 4.9. Well, we're getting there. We'll literally be there. Like, we can actively watch it happen soon. Let's go and check on our models. Surely we've gotten some stuff for the simulation chambers now, right? Okay, we've gotten 3 in this one. Will we need the dragon hearts later, too? Oh, yeah, we're gonna need both sides of it, too. Which are only from predictions. Okay, well, that can all get changed around at some point later on. This whole system's gonna get reworked, no doubt. So we'll set that one to Dragon's Breath on the left, and the right one can be Dragon Eggs. And it takes them out just fine. Perfect. And it was obviously also working a-okay to put the prediction matrix in there. Beautiful. Cool. That is automated eggs and Dragon's Breath. Probably should have done 3 and then 1. 1 for Dragon's Breath and 3 for eggs, considering you need 2 eggs for the craft and you get 1 per versus you get 16 Dragon's Breath per thing, but it's whatever. Don't feel like changing that, so not a big deal to me. And what was our next upgrade needing? Oh yeah, it was gonna need a lot of the Draconium. And 1 Nether Star as well, or 2. Wither predictions aren't that expensive, 2560. And they do just outright give it. Well, that's how we can do our Nether Stars that we want. Interesting. If you spend a nitro crystal and some ether gas, you can get even more out of them. 16 Nether Stars instead for 2 Wither predictions. Don't know how necessary that is. I'm really curious what these extra loot fabricators and the better simulation chambers and stuff do. I will mess with them at some point. But then this guy also needs the Draconium. We can get it from sieving Endstone. Guess we could eventually make an End Seed. It's kind of a menace though. Those are pretty normal. You just need 8 of the agglomeratio instead. Some of the star metal dust, which wasn't that bad, just another star. What could this even give? Why was I looking at this? Oh, Draconium. I was like, what? I got completely sidetracked on what the actual purpose of that was. Because Draconium seeds themselves are a bit of a process. You can get a decent amount of them outright as well. Like, cause, you know, we have a good amount of Draconium. Like 384 dust, which ain't terrible. No better way to meet this guy. You can barrel mix glowstone with lava, I guess. And each one does get hammered down into 2. Like, we have 688,000 glowstone. Plenty of lava generation, so it's not lava's not a big deal on that either. Could totally set up just a lava barrel that just gets fed glowstone directly, and then the way that you limit it is by limiting the glowstone throughput. If it does 1 per second, you know, I think we make more than a glowstone per second. Okay, we actually do not make more than a glowstone per second. Hey, fair enough. Good to know. Because you get it from dust. We only have diamond meshes for a 50% chance. What's another I do? It does increase it by a good amount. We get the smithing templates. Go and get some more netherite. We can upgrade all of our sieve meshes here to netherite tier instead, which would be a decent improvement, I think. Also, all these guys only have the extra enchant ones or whatever. But yeah, it's not terrible. It's like how much we would even need. You need 4 ingots for that, so every energy controller needs 8 ingots. That's 32 plus 20. So it's 52 draconium ingots to get 2 wyvern solar panels, which are then now producing, you know, that's like 131,000 RF for those 2 guys. Yeah, so that's not bad. Like, we could already make a set of 8 of those guys. Sorry, messaging my girlfriend real fast. Her lunch break ended. Okay. So, we could. I don't know. I might not mess with this for now. Like, we don't have another start right now anyways. We'd have to go and get skulls and stuff together to get withers in the first place. But we are making more dragon eggs and breasts. We have more now than we started with, so our power system is very scalable already. You know, it was considerably easy to make the 800,000 here, and our RF is up to 9 billion. So with 9 billion RF, we can now grab our quantum accelerators that we need, the computer accelerators, 122 of them. What are we crafting? Dang it. We can't make them because it's the 360k recipe. Okay, so what we're gonna do, 61 should be 190,000 bytes, and then we'll do one more set of 61 after to get our full thing done. Well, it is nice having enough RF to run that guy at full speed. It is making him marginally quicker. It's convenient. What's the extended inscriber take? 4 storage buses. So I need 5 interfaces. It's just because he's waiting on 1800 ender dust. The extended inscriber is just 4 times quicker, it says. The problem is we're stuck kind of on our stuff here. That ender dust is definitely going to be way too slow this way. Let's put a recipe in for this guy. A recipe in for the normal inscribers too. I'm surprised I didn't already do that. I guess it made sense. I didn't really have a purpose for multiple of them. Let's Okay. So we're gonna cancel this. What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna make 2. Okay, we don't have the OmniLink processors. That's fine. Hold on. So press A on this guy. Ender steel block. Ender steel. How do you make it ender steel? Oh, we'll make it in the reaction chamber right now. Okay, cool. This guy's a processing pattern. He can go to the reaction chamber. This guy's a crafting pattern. Okay. Let's make 2 more reaction chambers real fast. Perfect. Then let's make oh, it's just finishing off the last of that. Let's make 2 extended inscribers. Cool. Break this guy. Take him out. You're gonna be reaction chamber, reaction chamber. Cutting knife. Reaction chamber. Actually, easier method. Break off this end guy real quick. Pick these 2 guys back up. Enabled. Enabled. Back. Okay, so that's gonna just I forget we can do that. Cool. We have it on basic blocking mode. We won't lock the crafting, so it'll just be blocked if there's items actively in there, which is fine. This should push now into all 3 reaction chambers, which will be, triple the speed. Exactly what we want. And then let us put these 2 guys down for now. be exported through any extraction side. What's the extraction side? Is the extraction side the bottom? Or these sides? Probably the sides, right? That's what I would assume. Let's put our pattern for dust back in. Then give these guys this. Set this guy to auto export as well. And then let's get one more extended subscriber. Auto export him too, and also give him upgrades. Okay, and these guys should spit all the way out into their inventories properly. Okay. Nice, it didn't make any of them, so start 61 of these guys now. And we now should be making... Oh yeah, Ender Dust is getting made way quicker now, and so Singularities, even. Perfect, cool. I was like, yeah, duh, you can just use the pattern providers in the same spots, because it can connect to every side. It'll work great. And the inscribers doing the Ender Pearl Dust, quick enough to not be an issue. Because now it's doing it in sets of 12 instead of 1 per cycle. Every single one of these guys is doing 4. Exactly what we needed. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And our RF should be completely chilling still. Oh yeah, we still got 7 billion. Go to sleep real fast just to keep our solar panels operational. Not much of an issue until you're using large amounts of power at one time. But otherwise, yeah, the power storage on the EME system is just gonna make this really easy for us later. Yeah. We're making it through the last of the Ender Pearl Dust and Singularities. Singularities are kind of winning right now. A little interesting. Are these guys being a little slow because of this? Stack to 1. We'll let them all stack to 64. Yeah, I think they're going a little bit quicker now. Because if it does the extra stack, there's not the gap in between of it waiting. Of like a portion of a second or whatever. So we'll let them stack. And it looks like it tries to push them in like 4 at a time anyways, so it should still split them hopefully properly across the inscribers to keep the general speed up without just like overloading one inscriber with all of it, so then you're waiting on one guy to do everything that's left, which is kind of going to be what's happening here, but that's my fault for setting the stack thing late. Oh, never mind. I see. Okay, I understand actually why it wants stack size to 1 then. It's because it doesn't, there's no auto split mechanic here. So it trying to do something like this where it can stack multiples, it's just going to stay all in one section. Anyways, there's 61 quantum computer accelerators. Let's make ourselves 61 more. A little funny. It's gonna have to make us 1600 more ender dust and a bunch more singularities, another 2000. So it'll go through another couple of billion RF there. Although we're still gonna have about 3 billion left over after this. That's pretty good. And our first sets of these guys can go in right here. Put them in our offhand. Very nice. We're getting close. Do we have another wireless guy? No, we'll need to make another set of connectors. Use another set of connectors in that setup kit. Wireless connectors don't touch each other, I don't think, right? Oh, what do the energy cards do? Do they reduce the energy cost? Probably, right? They add more energy storage to certain tools and make vibration chambers more efficient. Okay. Yeah, so I assume the vibration chamber is effectively just a smelter for fuel. Interesting. Uh, Interesting. I do not know why the wireless connector would need an energy card if it wasn't to reduce its power usage. Not sure. I don't know. Doesn't matter that much to me. We can change that later if we need to, or if we make one that's like a really far connector or something that costs some kind of astronomical amount. But so far, they're all pretty reasonable. Like that one's 94, and that's completely manageable cost-wise. Singularities are done. Shattered singularities are done. Our last 61 quantums are finished up here. Finally. Jeez, a little bit of a process today. Had to work on a few things to get to these guys. Put them our offhand. Restriction none. Ta-da! Okay, now let us get our last quantum structural glass. Encapsulate them. Bam. That's our quantum computer, nice and assembled. Let us get some wireless connectors. Let's grab two again. Wireless setup kit. Put him right on here. And we'll connect him up to here, just kind of for fun. Out to here, out to there. And there we go. Quantum computers online. He has 3,936 coprocessors and 1 billion storage. So he can also craft an infinite number of things. So I can set up. I literally cannot do any crafts that this would matter for. I don't think. Actually, hold on. Here, look. Solar panel, tier 8s. 4, 4, 4. And there we go. See, it's just setting up these three guys. We still technically have the CPU1, which is this guy, which we're gonna actually remove right now because we don't need him anymore. He's completely useless to us now. And yeah, see, it'll craft all these guys at the same time. Oh my god, look at how fast it crafts the glass now. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, no, that destroyed the crafting speed. Okay, yeah, so now our matrix is actually using all of its slots because we have enough copro. So it really was just a channel issue. We just didn't have enough coprocessors to fully use it. That was 12 tier 8 solar panels right there. Well, some more universal cables. 12 of these guys. So we're gonna need 240 of these efficiency upgrades. Done. Instant. No crafting time whatsoever. Oh man. All right, now we can start getting to the big leagues. I think this is 12. So clear up my hotbar real quick. Perfect, and then get 3 more. Thank you, Envy Silver, for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I saw your comment. I saw your comment. I, I'm here streaming because of your comment today. I had time. I had time. You are the person who commented on the day 3 VOD, right? And that was asking for a day 4. I'm pretty sure I remember your name. If you are, then I'm happy I remembered, and if you're not, my bad, my bad. Surely the name's close. But yeah, unfortunately for you, you're getting here shortly. Yes, I've been waiting for like a week. I'm sorry. My bad, my bad. I'll try to stream at least once or twice a week. Life's just really busy. I got a better job offer and stuff, so I've been doing everything related to that. So I'm actually changing jobs again. I was working at a recycling plant, not going to be doing that. I'm moving to a distribution center, um, making like 30% more this way and stuff. But that just comes with like life shit. It just gets in the way. It just gets in the way, especially since this is more of like a hobby than anything else. I don't make any money off of this, so it's gotta sit to the side. Well, I'll give you a little sneak peek for what you're in for, because the stream, unfortunately, I do have to go. Yeah, pretty much right now. So you're really getting in here a little late. But I will, before I go, I'll immediately upload this, and I'll set it to publish. So it shouldn't be too long. You can obviously watch the VOD through Twitch as well. It should maintain itself for a couple weeks if you want to do that. But I'll make sure I upload this before I go anywhere and set him to publish and everything soon. But a little sneak peek, we added a few more guys over there for some of the resources we needed. We finally finished up our quantum computer. Did a little bit more Botania stuff. Not much, though. We weren't really that efficient. And we added a substantially larger amount of power to our system. We are now generating, whenever it's like at full bore, somewhere around like, I don't know, probably over 1,000,000 RF a tick now. I think with those last 12 I added. They're losing efficiency right now as the nighttime pops up, but yeah, so fixed up our power issue. Also added power storage to the ME system, and I think that's mostly it. We were mostly working on this guy all day. He was very expensive resource wise. Uh, I think we dropped like almost 5,000 singularities on building him, but now every bit of our crafting, so many matter balls. Yeah, like it was like a copious amount. Like accelerators. Like to craft 122 of these, yeah, 300,000 matter balls, and that was just for the accelerators alone. Thankfully, our thing, since I hadn't streamed for multiple weeks, had 8 point. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure this thing was almost full last time. Our matter ball collection has been annihilated. We only have 400,000 left. Hey, I was AFK for so long that they really did accumulate there. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, we pretty much just spent our time finishing at the last bit of our major infrastructure here, and I think now we're pretty much ready to start everything else. We've got our power at full speed. We've gotten a lot of basic resources are just chilling in our system now. We got power storage managed. We've got crafting to a pretty insane level now with both of those guys maxed out. So I think next stream we're in a position to start like really popping off. Also, let me go and cull these chickens. Thank you guys for your multiple stacks of eggs. I appreciate the contributions. I got a chicken trophy. Perfect. Oh, and we also we went to the end. We made one of the end cakes. We went to the end, killed the ender dragon multiple times, so that we could set it up over here in the simulation chambers. But that wasn't anything interesting. We made a flex bow, which is very spammable. I would recommend this. It kind of just destroys the dragon. I enchanted it using this guy over here. Good old basic enchant guy. Just gave him quick shot. some power modifiers. Basic bow enchants. Nothing too crazy. I don't think the multi-shot works. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I think multi-shot and multi-bow are not properly working on it, but it was it was for the vibe mostly. So next time, nothing crazy. Sitting on power 9. Yeah, well that's surprisingly that's not a difficult enchant. Here, I have another bow in the system. I was gonna use an enriched obsidian bow, but I didn't have arrows, so I decided to make the flux one so I could use RF instead of arrows. Like power 9 you can do with only 22.5 like a turn of value, and it only takes 10 levels to enchant it. So it's really not difficult because the actual enchanting infuser was not difficult to make either, if I remember correctly. No, this guy was cheap. The upgraded one's a little expensive. It takes a couple netherite, but this one, oh, and unobtainium gears. That's what we should work on next time. Get all the modium and stuff together. It looked like we could actually craft the all the modium ingots directly after we go through a few mod processes. So I guess we'll start working on that maybe. This guy, you can remove enchantments and also repair stuff, which is gonna be nice. I think it'll work better. But yeah, enchanted infuser works pretty well. You can get them in the hunting dimension with emerald pick. Wait, all the modium does spawn in there? I was curious. Ancient City has all the modium? Okay, cool. I was curious if it would spawn the ancient cities in, or like the deep dark or whatever. I don't remember what the actual like section's called. I think you could look for the deep dark, find it, and then that's the ancient cities appear in there. I wasn't sure if it was a findable thing or not, but there's also where's it at? There's also a crafting recipe for it specifically that you can make in the advanced crafting table with refined glowstone, soul infused ingots, flux infused stuff, energetic alloy, and nitro crystals. So you have to go all the way through Power this way. But this is, this still wasn't terrible cost wise. So I was gonna do that, but if we can just find it, that might be easier. And then just use that, upgrade our meshes and everything, and then slowly but surely accumulate some. I guess even with the vibranium mesh though, you get it 0.1% of the time. The smithing thing for upgrading the mesh probably needs a mob farm. Oh, you're probably right. Need the dark metal upgrade. Yeah, Seeds of Chaos. Ah, dang it, dude. I'm not gonna be able to avoid it. Where do you even get the first one from? Find it from a chest. Or a fallen Chaos Knight. Well, I guess if I figure out where a fallen Chaos Knight appears, maybe this will be the purpose to get into Woot. Maybe I do Woot for getting these. Because the issue with the mob farms is like you're gonna get the guys that spawn in the fire and stuff and just destroy everything you own constantly. They're all like weird sizes and spawn things outside of it and stuff. I feel like they'll be a menace. Dark metal ingots. We get this from nuggets. Can also make a seed for it. It's tier 6. Alright, that's not happening. Pile of dark metal. Thrashers. Missionary. Yeah, it's some from all the specialty guys. Okay, so a fallen Chaos Knight though. I turned mine on, just heard pure explosions. Yeah, that adds up. Um, we'll probably set up. We'll do Woot for this guy, so that we can avoid having an actual physical farm. I kind of want to avoid that as long as possible, because my thing is, if I go AFK for a week and I fill up some of my inventory storages stuff, I actually cleared up so many drives. Wait, that's so funny. How much wool did I use? Not much. I still have 13.8 million. I don't know, but a bunch of these cleared up decently on their stuff. That's funny. Obviously, I used a lot of resources that way. Um, I think we're gonna take out the sheep. Well, yeah, we'll throw those in the system. I don't think I need any more than 14 million wool. At least not for what I can see right now, and it's gonna just keep filling the system in mass. So we'll let everything else accumulate instead. Uh, Nether stars for higher solar panel. Oh, 100%. That's definitely gonna be in order. The one thing that I won't have like a large amount of is the draconium because I don't have endstone automated. So maybe this needs to happen too. The seed's tier 4, so I could very much so do a seed, because this isn't super expensive. It just needs a couple nether stars in the first place. But the draconium is really what's blocking the higher solar panel levels. Although I do have a decent amount of it. Where's solar flux? I just went to the end and smashed like 4,000 endstone manual. That is an option. That is true. I could just grab a bunch and then throw it in. Just manual sieve it, and then like how much draconium does? What's your odds of a draconium per? 2%. If you have netherite mesh is 10. Like you can actually just go to the end and probably mine it. Like I have 400 I think draconium. Yeah, I have 420 exactly from mining in the nether. Whenever I was mining for my ancient debris, if I got all the modium to make an infinite pick, so I had an infinite durability pickaxe, and just shredded some stuff, I could totally shred some stuff in the nether or in the end or in one of the mining dimensions or whatever that you can make as well. Probably works just as well. I bet you I can make that end mining portal. This guy. And he probably spawns draconium in there. I could probably get a ridiculous amount of it with an invulnerable pickaxe. Something that's unbreakable. You drop some looting on it too or something. Like, what level of looting can I get right now? Or fortune, I guess. So it can go up to fortune 8. I can only do fortune 1 with what I have. I need an extra Eterna to get the level 2 fortune. Yeah, noted. So if I max this guy out, I could get up to fortune 8. Even just fortune 1 would already be a lot. Got an emerald peck from Emerald Blocks and got loads of fortune 1s and combine them. Give me enough to outright make all the mod. It's like 16 aldemodium. Oh, you did it this way? Instead of getting the smithing template from the ancient city chest? Is that what you're saying? So you just brute forced it through getting enough ingots? That's funny. I respect it. You're like, I couldn't get it. I couldn't find enough. So you just locked in. Noted. Wanted it too badly? Nah, I understand. Because the indestructible pickaxe is just such a quality of life thing for every time you need to mine for the rest of the game. Anytime you need something that you can get from mining, you're just like, oh, perfect. And now your only thing is food, and for food, I just eat a ridiculous amount of relic apples. Easy. What I will do once I get enough coins, oh yeah, I gotta go here like really bad in like 2 minutes, but I'll run this by again. I want to get the saturation one. So if I get 64 infused coins, I'll buy the saturation totem, and then this should start managing food. I don't remember how many levels of this you can get, but I know you can get multiple, and then you just never have to eat again either, even through like vein mining and stuff too. And this guy is pretty nice. Not to mention saturation keeps you healthy and stuff too, because it'll keep you healed up and all that as well. So I think he's gonna be the goal is to buy him at least once, probably multiple times. But yeah, that's about it. I'll make sure I start uploading this immediately. So it should be out probably by like midnight. It'll probably take a couple hours. It usually does for longer streams and stuff for it to actually process all the way on YouTube. But I'll make sure that he's uploaded and going. But thank you guys for dropping by the stream. Thank you, man, for giving me the motivation to do another stream today. And I'll try to make sure streams are a little bit more consistent. That I get them. I want to stream at least once or twice a week. I'll do my absolute best. um, but yeah, thank you for the support, man. I do appreciate it. You were the reason I got on and stream today. Um, made sure I set the time aside for it and everything. So the comments really do mean a lot. Thank you guys though once again for dropping by the stream, all the support on the channel and things, and I'll try to be a little bit more consistent for you. It's always cool knowing that I've got someone that actually likes to watch them, and we'll try to do a little bit more next stream around. Hopefully it'll be soon. Thank you guys though. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your night. Catch you next time. Peace.